Joy to the Lord be sweet dad.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Goodness. She said you get one. Daniel.
Thank you, sir. Taking big bike exam. I don't care what they say.
I'm sure we're looking at it like, yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble today.
You got the extended version? You good.
What's the title gonna be today?
Holy Commandment number 3. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family as we get about our Abba's business. And we get through chewing too.
I was getting ready to say, you're gonna make the people hungry.
Hungry for this word.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Man shall not live by bread alone.
That's right.
As I take a bite.
Here's the feast day.
Once again, Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family, y'all. Peaceful Sabbath today as we get about our Abba's business, y'all. Let's turn toward Holy Jerusalem as instructed.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And is in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King!
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 36th chapter, it reads, "The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of Yah before His eyes. For He flattereth Himself in His own eyes, until His iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of His mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Yahweh, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds.
Yes, sir.
Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Master, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O Yah. Therefore, the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and shall not be able to rise. Hallelujah! Say what?
Yes, sir.
Workers of
Powerful,
iniquity.
bro. Yes, sir. Workers of iniquity. That's workers of practice sin.
That's right.
They practice it, bro.
Trying to get it right.
Trying to get it right.
And trying to make you think it's
They
right.
think it's right, boy. Look here.
Boy.
Y'all, today's lesson, y'all, we're going to get right at it. Holy Commandment number 3. And the reason we're tackling this topic today is holy name sacred rollers are rearing their heads again, bringing out doctrine stating if you don't call them by this name or that name, you don't know them. So y'all, we're going to get that cleared up once again and see what the name of the Most High is for us until he tells us what his name is that we can't defile anymore. Y'all, when we see, and the scriptures we'll hit today on how we defiled his name, we going to get down to business and see, was it a mispronunciation? Or did we call him another name? Or what is his name?
Right.
To take it in vain. Holy Commandment number 3, y'all, we're going to get on today. Before we get going, I want to thank all of the assembly for their prayers for our Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
The Most High guided that surgeon's hand. It was successful on his operation. He's just mending right now. Also, want to ask for prayers for our brother Moses. His baby sister was sent home in hospice care today. So, want to pray for strength for that household.
Yes, sir.
Also, Sister Cassandra Sellers, she's a regular, our family member, our Worldwide Assembly member. She's going through a few more procedures for what she's battling. She just asked for prayers as well. She's fighting like a soldier. She's a true soldier. Yeah. Still getting the info out while, dealing with what she's going through personally. She still is fighting a good fight, y'all. So we want to make sure we send prayers up for sister as well. Did we have somebody else that we also the house of Jacob continue prayers for Sister Jada, lost her baby sister.
Always Uriah.
So always Uriah, Hananiah, our other Ak Jeremiah high end. We pray for that brother as well. He said he always needs strength, like we all do. So before we get started, do we have any questions or concerns?
So far, so good. No, sir.
Okay, so y'all, we're going to get right at it. Today's lesson, Holy Commandment number 3, y'all. And we have to go through the 10 because the 10 will explain all 613 laws plus statutes and judgments. They're just broken down in the 10. So when we get to Holy Commandment number 3, we're going to go through that process so you understand what it means not to take the name our Lord in vain. So we're going to get a good lesson on that because he's going to tell us himself how you take his name in vain. And we're going to see if it's what we're being told out here or what we're being shown out here. We're going to let the word of the Most High speak for itself. So y'all know how we get down. We worship our King, the High Priest, the one and only High Priest after the order of Melchizedek, Yeshua HaMashiach, locally known as Jesus the Christ. He's the High Priest after the order of Melchizedek, and the laws are exhibited or conformed to every male, female, rich, poor, free bond, Jew, and Gentile under this priesthood. You must know your priesthood. You must know who you go through. And a lot of times, just hearing a little conversation, brother Obed Ben Israel mentioned something, on the Passover video. He said, this Messiah, the one we're talking about, born of a virgin, this one. So we have to know this one. There's many out there claiming to know the Messiah or who the Messiah is, but you got to know this one that this book is talking about. He won't give his glory to another. So y'all, let's get right at that. Give me a real quick Isaiah 55, 8, 9. So we get some understanding here first before we come out the block so we understand when he says, my thoughts are not yours. You can't think for God. Hell, most of us can't even think for ourselves. You know, should I put some socks on? Shabbat shalom, sis. Shabbat shalom, baby girl. How y'all doing? House of Judah Black in the house.
I meant to text you to bring me some.
What's up, license? Been Israel?
I need some too. And we need some here too. So
We out
yeah, we've been out here. We've been,
Isaiah chapter 59, verse.
Isaiah 55.
55.
Hold on. Is it 55, 8, 9? Yeah, 55, 8, 9. Y'all, we're going to get right at it. So once we understand the rules, y'all, once you understand rules, you know how to operate. Once you know how to drive on the streets, you good, right?
Praise the Lord.
So other than that, you have to learn how to drive on the road because you're dealing with a dangerous piece of equipment. 2,000 pounds and it could go over 100 miles an hour. Do you know what that could do to someone or to yourself?
man,
You better know the rules.
yeah,
And when you get a supercharged Holy Spirit, one of them gifts, you better know the rules. This high-powered octane.
yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Read that.
You know, start at 5.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Who got it?
Isaiah.
Oh,
You got it there?
no, he ain't got it. You go ahead and get it. Okay.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not. A nation that knew not thee shall run unto thee, because the Most High thy God, and for the Holy One of Israel, he hath glorified thee. Seek the Most High while he may be found.
Do what?
Seek the Most High while he may be found.
Uh-huh.
Call ye upon him while he is near.
Yeah.
Let the wicked forsake his way,
Uh-huh.
and the righteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Most High,
Uh-huh.
and he will have mercy upon him.
What he gonna do if you return to him?
He will have mercy upon him,
Uh-huh.
and to our power,
Uh-huh.
for he will abundantly pardon.
See, that's what you want, a pardon. When he's saying abundantly pardon. But you're going to have to return from your wicked ways. You can't keep on in your wicked ways and won't pardon.
Right.
Go ahead.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts,
Uh-huh.
neither are your ways my ways,
Uh-huh.
says the Most High. For as heaven is higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
So from that, just understanding that in its context, the Most High said, the way I think is different than the way you think. So I'm going to tell you how I think. So you don't have to guess how I'm thinking. You're going to know right off. Everything I say is going to be plain. You know how some, we'll hear the orator, he'll holler off some big words, but those usually names and different things. Yeah. But the way of the Lord is plain. When he speaks the law,
Right.
he pronounces it clearly, but it's plain. Don't do this, or this gonna happen to you. If you do that, you better do this to straighten that out.
Right.
You have to know that. You have to know that if you tell anybody about this Bible. Because when you teach yourself. So whatever you teaching somebody to do, you have to look at that and saying, well, you can't wear them type of shoes. Well, then I have to make sure the shoes I got on are sufficient. In case they say, but you got them on your shoes. You know, so we have to be extra careful, y'all, because if we don't, we're going to start making excuses for our side of it. You know what I'm saying? You'll find a way, but these commandments will run you across what you're having trouble with. The problem will you read that aloud when you see shit? That's me right there. Uh-oh. Let me skip over that. Go on. Look, turn over to chapter 52.
Nope, keep reading.
Yeah. So y'all, with that understanding, we want to keep moving. So to know the mind of the Lord, he gave us his instructions. And today's class, Holy Commandment number 3. So let's get right to that and see what the commandment number 3 is. Let's hit some Exodus 20. And then we'll be going in the Apocrypha, Sirach 19 chapter. But let's get right to the heart of the matter, because we're going to see what his name is. Because contrary to belief, you can call him whatever name you want to call him. But if you steal, kill, and deceive, you just know his name.
That's right.
What's that Exodus? What? I'm sorry.
20th chapter. Yeah.
I'm starting one.
You going to start at 1? Okay.
You want-
Yes, sir. Get down to that 3rd commandment. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dan, you got a quick question.
Okay.
Kings and queens. Shalom, family. My name is, welcome me to pronounce that, Iyame.
Iyame.
And my,
Iyae, me and my daughter. That's
Oh, okay. That's what that means?
and
Okay.
No, that's, yeah.
and my
Oh,
son
okay.
would like to come and have class with the family. I live in Indianapolis, and I was wondering, who do I contact for more information? Thanks.
Yeah, well, just, you got God's Warrior 298 or hit that Judah at AOL. No problem. We'll get dates and times when you're coming in, but that ain't no problem. We got big Indy family up there. Nate Ben Israel, Ed and them up that way. Vizion, the Hebrew. Mikael. So we got
Michaelo.
fam up that way. Yeah, Michaelo.
Abaya up there too.
Abaya, yeah, yes sir.
Cold Rain
Yeah,
Wood,
people up
but
there.
I think
Cold Rain, yeah, Cold
I
Rain.
think he got some land in Missouri now.
Yeah, he getting it together right now. So no problem with that. Just Tubab, give him that connection, that email connections. Let's pick it up, y'all.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Exodus, chapter 20. I'm going to start the reading in verse 1.
Yeah.
Let's get some understanding, family. And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High, thy Elohim,
Yes, sir.
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
See, so he's making it clear who he is.
Right.
So there's no misunderstanding. It was me that brought y'all out. If you're talking about somebody else, you're wasting my time. I brought you out of Egypt. And he's going to say, and this is what I require for saving you from bondage. Go ahead.
He says, verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me.
And that's with an S on it, so it's plural. It say, I don't care who you talking about. No other gods before me. So people look at that and they say, well, can you have any God if it's not before him? Well, look, you're going to run up across people, that, they may mention Psalm 82 and 6. I said ye are gods, but you're going to die like men.
Right.
As long as you understand it from that perspective. That means you can't have no man above the Most High. I don't care what he calls himself.
Right.
If he run that Psalm 82:6 on you, well, hey, look, Exodus 7, the Most High say, I'm going to make you a god to Pharaoh, talking about Moses. But when Moses struck that rock, what happened to Moses?
Yeah.
So we can't have no other gods before us, not even Moses. He was punished for just one word, shall we.
But you can't even bethink yourself to even exalt yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, Elijah. Self-exaltation. Me and the Father and the Son, I was speaking with him the other day, and
You need to get out the sun.
well, what you say? Heat stroke coming on there.
He's hallucinating.
He's sunburned.
Let's get some more, y'all.
Verse 4,
Yeah.
thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath,
Right.
or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy Elohim, am a jealous God.
What is he?
He is a jealous God.
And the reason why here, when you're going to hear talk, well, your God say he's jealous, how can he have it both? Look, what we're talking about is a marriage covenant. You don't understand it because everything else you've been hearing is religion. That's just somebody you choose to worship. Ain't no judgment day. But we're in a marriage covenant.
That's right.
And that means your husband don't want his bride messing around. That ain't hard to understand for those who know about the covenant.
Right.
The marriage ceremony gonna be a marriage ceremony at the end, ain't it? Marriage supper of the Lamb. If y'all don't understand that the other gods don't have that, they say you can do as you will. Just make sure you drink plenty of blood while you're doing it. Get some more.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
See, that's the key word, of them that hate me, he'll visit it. You know, our fathers did some wrong, but we can escape the part of the hate if we do right.
Break the generational
If
curse.
we break that generational curse. Ezekiel 18 tell you that if a son does good, not like his father that done evil, he won't get no punishment for what his father did.
Right.
He may be put in a bad situation, you know, if father, was on drugs or something and now they homeless. Well, he's homeless too because of his father, but if him and his father die, he won't be judged at all for that situation. That's his father's judgment. But he was going to die sooner or later because death is appointed to every man. It may have been 50 years later, could have been 70 years later, but he was still marked for death. But we're going to get that put away, y'all, when the Most High say, when I tell you my name, I'm going to put that away, that type of second-hand destruction, so to speak. Go ahead, where we at?
We're in verse 6.
Okay.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Now, this is all throughout the New Testament. We're going to keep seeing love is tied to commandment keeping. You can't love the Lord and don't know what it means. If you don't, you're going to start making up love that religious doctrines make up. They'll just put names on it to make it where you understand, like they may say agape love. Well, if you look up agape, I don't know what that means, but it means the church version of the highest love, but it still don't tell you how to do it.
No instructions.
There's no instruction still. It just has a title now. Or you say, well, what love mean to me? No. If we get into that, then we got to deal with Tina Turner. She said, what love got to do with this? Ike Turner's love was different, wasn't it? He had a different kind of love, didn't he?
He had that hands-on.
Just boy, that hands-on love. Sir.
And physical attraction.
Yeah.
Yo, leave my friend alone.
Yeah. Zeb used to work with him in the studio. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Where we at?
Verse 7.
Yeah, now here we go. The third commandment. That was just the first two and instructions for the first two. But notice those first two, we still would have to have examples for it. And we've done the first two, in previous class. And then we have to go to script to show you what it means to have no other God. We have to bring out scriptures what that means. Nobody, not your mother, not your father. If you love your mother, your father more than the Messiah, what he say? You're not what? You're not worthy. He's jealous about that. How you gonna love your mama more than me, and your mama need me to keep breathing?
Right.
But see, that's why I was also saying, not to bethink yourself on yourself.
Yeah.
Because even Satan in Ezekiel 28, pride was found within himself.
In himself.
That he exalted his own belief in his own beauty. That he was God.
Yeah, like his
or
dung don't
exalted
stink.
above God. So
Yeah.
when a lot of people say that I am a God,
Yeah.
they've already exalted
Yeah, they
themselves
have.
above the throne of the Most High. Because
Yeah.
they say he's in me. I don't have to look up to him.
And look, and you're saying you're a God, and you're mortal. You're not in immortality while you're saying this. You can smell death on you every day. All you have to get up in the morning is before you brush your teeth, do like here. You gonna know you ain't a God. You gonna smell mortality.
Oh, God.
Oh, what you gonna say? Right, you gonna call on another one. That's gonna let you know.
But it amazes me that when sudden fear comes upon individuals,
Yeah.
they scream out Jesus
For another
Christ.
God, yeah.
They scream out Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I ain't even
Right.
heard one scream Allah.
Look, boy. Look
I ain't
here.
seen one. I ain't heard one scream for Buddha.
None of them.
None of them.
None of them.
They scream for Jesus Christ.
Right, the one they've been talking about. But see, because that's in your chemical makeup, that's in your manual, that's in your heart, that's how
Right.
you was designed.
Can't
You're
be
going to
quit.
holler out. See, he said, you're going to acknowledge me. He don't care nothing about it. He said, you can blaspheme me. But if you blaspheme that Holy Spirit, no, he said, so I know, he said, but I ain't worried about it. He said, because I'm going to have you holler in your sleep. People that we think crazy only holler the devil or the Most High. They don't say names about nobody else made them do it. So that's letting you know their conscience is still active. Their flesh is just taking a turn for the worse. But your consciousness is still immortal. And the only way you can come here is to not die. Then you are a true God. Satan is considered a lower gods because he can't taste a physical death. Anybody know what Satan's gravestone at? Here lies the devil. You can check his jawbone where Michael hit him when he knocked him out of heaven. This is the devil. Who gon' what do they call that? When they dig up a grave, exhume a grave. You think they're gonna exhume the devil's grave? He is, y'all did not tell you. Look at that tail on it. Yeah. No, the devil is supernatural. He can't die. He looks just like he did when he walked into the Garden of Eden. He's the same age.
Like how when you just saying they either saying Christ or the devil, Jazz and I was talking about that, like when people are on like a psych ward, they either saying they hear Christ, Jesus, or the devil speaking to them.
One or the other.
Yeah.
One or the other, because it's their soul talking, because their flesh is overtaken by a fault. And the devil could be controlling that, got them deaf and dumb and got their mind, the pineal gland and open up, so he's driving. But their soul is still immortal. It can't be taken over by the devil. Right. It's like he told Job, he told the devil, you can touch his flesh, but his soul belongs to me. Nobody controls that. He has to be allowed a chance to say, I'm sorry, even in that state of mind, because that's the true state of mind.
Right.
Your subconsciousness, or what we call your immortality, your soul. So I can't allow the devil to mess with that. I have to give you an opportunity to say, you brought it to me and I got scared even in my soul and I chose the devil. Well, okay, judgment day. That's what he's going to judge, the spirit, not the flesh.
Right.
The flesh is already doomed.
But that's how the court system judge if you
Absolutely.
plead a case of insanity.
Yeah.
They judge. They have
experts come in, yeah.
and judge you according to your consciousness.
According to your consciousness. And that's what this is being now. We're getting good practice with the phones and everything, because if you do a crime, they're coming for your consciousness. And that's what you put on TikTok. It's every text message. And not only that, but it's listening now too, whether you know it or not. You could just be talking and go, let me look that up, and it's already there. This what you looking for? You be like, now wait a minute.
Right.
You want to throw it across the room, but you just do this. It'd be like a yo-yo and come right back. Not just yet. They told me this was going to happen.
That's like Jacob on there playing with that cereal.
Oh, yeah. Boy, look, we was in there. That thing growled back at him and said, ha, I got you.
Right.
And say, enough of this, you talking tough. Jacob, about Siri, is you the devil? Siri, do you know what the devil is? He's like, I don't have an answer for that. Let me ask you one more. Siri, do you work for the devil? All of a sudden that thing said, and then it said, gotcha. Jacob started turning it over, hitting them buttons. No, it's going off right now. I'm deleting the app right after the show. So what it did is Siri is almost like a Ouija board.
Right.
So it has conjuring effect, because look, it's what you're asking it and where it's going to look for it. It's going to find wherever you're saying, Siri, what's the dark side, or what's the book of shadows? It's going to tell you what it is. But you have to be extra careful, because just like a Ouija board, who in here, is rotten as an old tomato? The hands are on it. Like, wait a minute. I don't want to play no more. See, so we have to be careful, because these spirits have been let out in the last days, y'all. We have to strengthen ourselves up and put on the whole armor. And the armor we're going to see is his name. And we're going to get down to business to see what it comes down to is what is his name. Go ahead and read that verse again.
We're in verse 7
Yeah.
of Exodus 20.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
So he's saying there is no way you're going to be found innocent if you take his name in vain. So if you will, give me the definition or Hebrew definition, any one of them, of vain. See, first we got to understand how it would be a crime. So we have to go into to be able to explain vain from the Bible's perspective, not an individual's. And the Bible will tell us what it means and what it is to take his name in vain. So is it really literally like knowing it's Jehovah and we take it in vain? How do we do that? No. Is it Ahia? We take it in vain. No. Is it Jesus Christ and we take it in vain? How are we taking it in vain? Because the holy name roll is going to say, if you say Jesus Christ, you are taking his name in vain.
Yeah. How is that?
How is that? You know, and then they'll make up stuff like, well, it means Zeus, iron pig. Well, when you look up Jesus in any Hebrew concordance, and they can do it, it'll tell you from the Hebrew Joshua. Yeah. All the way back, that's what it means, which means salvation. That's it. Now, because it's in English and you've been hearing that the English is a bastard language and Sirach in the first time, Sirach don't tell you that. Sirach tells you that Hebrew is the original language that the covenant was given in to Abraham. That's all it says. It don't matter because look, if that's the case, then we through. Nobody in here speaks that language. It's chopped up and watered up. It's what we call it, Ebonic Hebrew.
Right.
Diluted. And then the language was scattered at the Tower of Babel. You don't think he scattered them? See, that would then again not allow us to be able to praise and worship him. We could just stand in judgment. Look, Lord, I ain't know one lick of Hebrew. Right. I'm talking to you now, Lord, in English, explaining myself on Judgment Day in English. You think he gonna say, I don't know what you saying either. You ain't talking in Hebrew. I don't know what you saying. How can then there be judgment? Y'all see, so those holy name rollers want you, but look, all it is Hebrew Christianity. It's just Hebrews that know they used to be in the church and found out they're Hebrew, but they're doing the same practices at church because church will say, unless you say Jesus, you can't be saved. For every need. It does say that in the Bible, but you have to know which one, because David Koresh said he was Jesus. Is that the one? No. Right. Jim Jones said he was Jesus. Hugh Lyon Mitchell said he was Jesus.
He said, if you don't even believe on my
Charlie
name,
Manson said
at least
he was
believe
Jesus.
on the things that I've done.
Yeah. So see, what we're going to get down to is what is his name, and then we won't have to ask, because I ain't seen one time in here where the father called his son anything other than son.
Son, right.
And the son, I ain't never read in here anywhere where he didn't say just my father.
Right, right.
When their disciples asked, how should we pray? Did he say Yahweh?
No, he said,
did he say Jehovah?
No. Our Father.
What did he say?
Our Father.
That's clear, ain't it? And look how you know his father. We're going to get into some John 14 so we all understand what it is to know his name.
That's right.
And when to call on him. Let's get some more.
You want some more of that?
No, did we get that? That was the third commandment, and that's to take his name in vain. Did we get vain?
No, I'm getting that.
Go ahead.
No, I had a script.
Go ahead.
Vain, emptiness.
What is it?
Emptiness. Vanity. Falsehood. Impotence. Nothingness.
Oh.
Empty of speech.
Okay.
Lying.
Boy, look here.
Worthless.
Look.
I've had enough.
Look. So right now, when you're saying that this is tampered with, you just said it's in vain to mess with this, to even study this. That word holy on there don't really mean anything because it's been tampered with. It's vain. Right. That's what you let come out of your mouth when you say every word is not pure in here.
Yeah.
Holy is on here for a reason.
That's right.
It's set apart.
That's why it's a bestseller to this day.
To this day. Ain't no other book says it like that. So when you twist your lips to say anything, especially when you talk about the law. Now you done put the light out of the Bible. You can't even see your way now. Paul said, lest I had known what fornication was, how did I know I was sinning? Right. I had to have an example to tell me what it was.
Yeah.
Right.
The Bible is the only book of prophecy ever
The only
written.
one. Only one that tells you the past, present, and future.
Right.
I got 20 copies of the same book.
Boy, look here. And y'all look, when people start talking about, I'm going to say this and move on, different versions of the Bible, oh, well, that's NIV, or that's this, or that's that. All you do is go to Exodus 20 on whatever version of Bible that is. If this law changed, put that version away.
Right.
You don't have any instruction manual. Once that's tampered with, the instructions is off. It's like going to court and the police done lied and it's evidence that he planted the dope in your back seat. The judge gonna throw it out. Get out of here with that. Don't come in here with tampered evidence. So in like manner, y'all, we cannot have tampered evidence. And that's tampered evidence will be your mind as well when you start trying to answer for the Most High. You've been tampered with. Well, what I think the Lord is trying to tell you, you don't get
What
to
you
say
think?
that.
Right.
No, when he talked to you personally, he said, so people won't think you going crazy, he gives us instruction. Write it down. Note it in the book.
Right.
So anybody say, you know, the Lord spoke to me, I'm looking for the paperwork. When you write it down, and what book did you note this in?
Because it's
We need to see it.
He said no scripture is given by private interpretation.
No,
Right?
no private interpretation. Let's get it, y'all. We get right to Sirach 19. We're in Apocrypha, and 19 through 24. And we're going to see again of what it is to take the Most High's name in vain.
Judy, what's another name for this?
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes, yeah. Chapter 19.
Start at 18.
So we're going to start at verse 18. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, family. We're reading in the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 19. We'll start the reading in verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody there?
That's it.
All right. We'll
19
tear it
and
for you,
18.
sister.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I got it, thank you.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19 and verse 18. The fear of the Most High is the first step to be accepted of him.
So let's get right here. We got instruction. This is called first base. When you're playing baseball and you hit a shot, oh, it went out to the outfield, and then you run, instead of running from home plate to first base, you run straight through past the pitcher and slide in the second.
Yeah.
What have you done?
You're going to be sitting back down real soon.
No, but I'm saying you missed the
missed
first
first
step.
You didn't do the first step, yeah.
See, so in like manner, you can't get to paradise unless you go through first base. You can't come sliding in home out the dugout. You got your bat at home, and then you just slide in home. Safe. No, you done missed first, second, and third base.
That don't count.
It don't count.
Hey, that game gonna be over quick, boy.
Y'all hear our instruction. The first step to be accepted of him is what?
Fear.
Uh-huh.
Fear of the Most High.
Go ahead, Ariel.
Okay, I'm going to read it from the beginning.
Okay.
The fear of the Most High is the first step to be accepted of him.
Uh-huh.
And wisdom obtaineth his love.
What obtaineth his love?
Wisdom obtaineth his love.
Uh-huh.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Most High is the doctrine of life.
Read that again, what the doctrine of life is.
Is the knowledge of the commandments of the Most High.
Uh-huh.
Is the doctrine of life.
Uh-huh.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
What the tree we gonna receive?
The tree of immortality.
That's what we're seeking for, y'all, the tree of life, which is the Messiah.
Psalm 4.
The tree of life. If you in it for anything else, you wasting your time, because no matter how this life your best life, guess what? This best life come with embalming fluid.
Yeah, that's right.
Sooner or later, it's coming with embalming fluid. Let's get some more.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
The fear of the Most High is all wisdom.
What is it?
Is all
Slow,
wisdom.
mister. Uh-huh.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
Let's read that over again, bro.
From the top.
Yeah.
The fear of the Most High is all wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
So everything is governed by rule of law. You can't have it. When you say he nailed it, he was nailed to the cross, the law was nailed to the cross, then what you're saying is unlawlessness is let loose. Because you're saying how we keep ourselves safe is done away with.
Go on, give me your purse. You
Well,
gotta forgive me.
look here. Romans
gotta forgive
4:15, where there's no law, there's no sin.
That's right.
You
If it's
eliminate
nailed to the
sin.
cross, there can't be sin. So, if there's no sin in the world, what is the devil going to get locked up for? Read that one again. I like that.
Yeah.
Go
Verse
ahead.
20.
Yeah.
The fear of the Most High is all wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
Uh-huh.
And the knowledge of his omnipotence.
See, that's what's in the law to tell you how great he is.
Right.
How his majesty and judgment, how he balances, how his balance. It ain't like the Statue of Liberty where she say blind faith and they got that thing over the Statue of Liberty. But technically, it's peeping up under there saying, is you white? Okay. Not guilty. Is you black? Guilty as
Life.
hell. Not that type of justice.
Right.
Because his justice comes with mercy. And everything, there's the law of the universe, ain't it? The law of physics, the law of nature. All of it's ruled by the law of the Most High because he created all of it. And everything must come under rule of law.
Right.
Let's get some more, bro.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee,
Uh-huh.
though afterward he do it,
Uh-huh.
he angereth him that nourisheth him.
See, you still make the Most High mad that Shalom Ymal. It's still a make like your parents. You know, they tell you to do something and you don't do it right then, but you end up doing.
Right.
It's still, you know, your parents like, why we have to go through this for you to have to do it?
Right.
You know, it's still anger at the parent, but it's the one that nourishing you. Why you kicking against the pricks?
Right. Do what I asked you to do.
You keep doing that. You keep kicking your foot on a thorn, your big toe. Just keep kicking it on. You know them like a rose petal thorn. Just keep kicking your big toe on that. Who tough enough to do that? Then one hit right between the toenail and your toe, and you just keep doing it. I ain't gonna. I just want to do what I want to do.
After the first penetration, you gonna stop.
Yeah, you will. Go ahead.
Stop.
Verse 22.
Yeah.
The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Read that again.
The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
So we have to know what wickedness is. We have to be wise as a serpent, but what? We can read about it, but we can't practice it. All we can say, if you see somebody doing this with his board with these letters on, that's a Ouija board. Tell them that's work of the devil. You can't get one and say, well, I'm going to see if it's truly the work of the devil.
Right.
Light them candles up and turn them lights out. No, you can't. They don't tell you to do that. They say it's a trick. If you do that, you're going to be tricked into worshiping the devil. Go ahead. What else to say?
Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
Uh-huh.
There is a wickedness, and the same an abomination.
Uh-huh.
And there is a fool wanting in wisdom. He that hath small understanding
Uh-huh.
and feareth Yah is better than one that hath much wisdom.
Do y'all understand that a poor man in the ghetto has more wisdom than Albert Einstein that split the atom? But what he split it for? Nuclear bombs. Right. So now what his knowledge is to destroy every man, woman, and child off of planet Earth. That all of what we got, superpowers, Russia, China, America, North Korea, who else? The Arab family have nuclear warheads. So they have to sign an agreement called MAD, MAD, Mutual Assured Destruction. If it comes down to it, and any one of us do this with that red button, then we're going to do this, boom, and we've all agreed that it's going to destroy mankind from planet Earth. So they had to actually sign a document. Now, this is a man that they call wise, Albert Einstein. Y'all call this wisdom? To destroy everybody off of planet Earth? Because once that mushroom cloud hit and blocked the sun, we're going into what's called nuclear winter. Pray that your flight be not in the winter. Let's get some more.
Verse 24 from the top.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 25.
Okay.
He that hath small understanding and feareth Yah is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
Y'all see that? I don't care who it is. I don't care who you up against. The law reigns supreme. You can have all the top leaders sitting in here. Farrakhan, Al Sharpton. You can have all of the boys in here that call themselves some great one. Gandhi. Who was that boy want to suck on children's tongue? Him up in here. Who? The Dalai Lama with his freak self.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah, got him on film. Yeah. So the lolly. Yeah, he want to be lollipop man now. So so him, all of them up in here. You know what the playing field is? Exodus 20 for everybody sitting at the table. You could have on raggedy jeans. You could have shoes on, some Payless tennis on. But when this comes out, everybody get the same exact thing. Nobody gets a special instruction or cheat sheet. That's who you gonna know who the wise one in the room is when they deal with the power of God and who has his laws and who keeps them. That's how you gonna know. And this makes the board fair. You can never have respect to persons with the law, because if you do, you're saying he's above what you're underneath. So we get into a little Romans 2:9. That's going to explain all of that. Let's get some more of this, though, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Yeah.
There is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear. And there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment.
So, y'all, we can't judge any individual. We just have to present the law to the point that it says, look, this God's word or no. You can't judge me. I'm not judging you. I ain't never said I'm going to send you to the lake of fire or you going to the lake of fire. That's judgment. That means I'll pronounce your end on you. But for me to say, hey, if I do this and you're doing it and both of us doing it, both of us are candidates for the lake of fire. So that's what the law says. Don't put me above you or I'm saying it. No, it's as clear as if I teach you, I'm teaching myself, because I can't tell you not to break the law and I'm doing it. Well, see, you the student, don't you ask me no questions. See, I can do this because I've been granted pardons to do it. Now, don't ask me no more questions about what I can do.
I'm going to get away from you.
Do as I say, don't do as I do.
Yeah, that type of deal. That's what the Pharisees did. That's why I say bid and observe what they do. They're going to quote a scripture, look at the scripture, but don't do after they do. They're going to quote you some out of character, done twist it, and you look like, well, if that's what the scripture's saying, you shouldn't be doing that either. Watch your mouth, you're talking to the preacher. The chief high priest, third in command here on heaven and earth. Do you know it's a guy in New York claiming this? On planet Earth, there's not another individual on planet Earth. I'm third in command. He said not only that, but heaven and earth. A guy out of New York that brags about how many chicken wings he can eat in 15 minutes.
Ain't he dead now?
No, not him. That's the comfort. That's the discomfort. Yeah.
Comfy.
Yeah.
How many can he eat?
Boy, look here. When the camera, look, you ain't even in the building with this dude, Theo. I hate to tell you. Too bad he come out, they have 50 starting out with him.
That's an appetizer.
Yeah, keep counting. That's his appetizer.
That's his appetizer.
Yes. Boy, you be need Pepto-Bismol after about 16 of them, man. He just be getting warmed up. But y'all, that's the tomfoolery, y'all, of wickedness somebody that's seeing like you tell you God has put him in that position, and then you're blaspheming his name, you're making his name vain. And another thing that makes his name vain is to say, I was born a woman trapped in a man's body, and then you still want to go to church. For what?
Right.
Look, your soul is confused. Going to church ain't going to straighten that out.
No.
If he messed up at the beginning, there's no ending for you that he could straighten it out.
No, because the church going to even further the damage.
You're right. It's going to keep telling you.
They're going to tell you that, oh, God loves you anyway. It's
Anyway.
okay. You can do what you want. He still loves you.
Or God is confused and he didn't know. Hold on, what was the last creation? Hold on. I did boy, girl, boy, girl. What was this one supposed to be? Make it a girl. Go ahead. Keep the line moving. That's almost how the Most High is being disrespected. That he didn't know, he was confused on what you should be. That's a problem for your creator, and you go to worship him and he makes mistakes. It's the same as somebody got this Bible under their arm and then say it's tampered with. It's the same thing. You got it clutched. It's saying it's your lifeline, but there's a missing link in it. The chain could break while you hanging for safety. Right? You know how when they be pulling you up in that helicopter, when they get you out of flood water, just think right when they reach to grab your hand, the rope break. Plink.
Right back in the water you go.
No, that's what they saying. The naysayers of this, that this can't be trusted because that could happen to you. But this says, try any of the people we talked about and see if they ever recorded saying, I left them hanging. It ain't in here. Maybe some other gods, but not the God we married to. He's not a deadbeat dad. Let's get some more. Where we at? Where we going now? Let's get that. Go ahead, Sister Boy.
No, I was just going to say on Judgment Day, like Caitlyn Jenner, and when God called his name.
Yep. Yep. But see, he already know what he is. See, this is just the last day. Men are becoming lovers of themselves. I decide on what I decide to be, not God anymore.
I had posted a video, it was a while back, of this she
Yep.
was talking about their experiences in going through the sex change operation and
Right.
things of this nature. And it was saying that had it known the problems that it would face with that decision, it would have never done it. He say,
Absolutely.
He say, I'm dying. I'm making this video to be a warning against those who are thinking to do the same, change their gender. He said every 3 months he has to go get a shot. He has to take this medication, these antibiotics, a whole case of them every single day.
Yeah.
He said he has to get, he's had several surgeries. He said that he has to do something he said he has to take these medications because he gets infections every 3 months.
Yeah.
He say, yeah, because it closes up and everything. It's not meant to be what he traded it in for.
Yes, sir.
So he says every 3 months he gets an infection that can cause he said, I don't expect to live much longer because they can't, it's becoming harder and harder to fight off these infections that he's consistently getting. And the medications are
expensive.
He can't afford them. All kind of complications, but he was saying that I just ruined my life. I'm ending my life early because of a decision I made that the Western world has convinced other people that it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll support you. He said, no, nobody supports you. He said, I'm gonna die alone.
And they think it's okay to let children make these
Yeah,
decisions.
right.
And the dude was grown man. He said,
Right.
man, I'm going through hell. He said, I've been through hell and back and going back.
Right.
He said, I can't stop it. It can't be reversed or any of the sort. He said, I'm faced with these complications daily.
Right.
And
he
you
said,
know why?
my life is over. He said, I'm guaranteed to not live too much longer because of all these infections I constantly get. All these surgeries I have to go and endure. All just because of a decision I decided to make on myself.
Right.
He said, man,
And you know
it ain't
why,
working.
Elisha?
He
Because-
said, you got to ask yourself, is it working?
See, the body is going to do what it was designed to do.
Exactly.
Every piece of equipment is designed to do a certain function. If that function fails, it turns on a warning light. So when you are born male and your DNA and all the construction for your soul make up for how you think as a man and how you think as a woman, that's all determined up here as well. So if your mind tricks you to think that you should be a woman and you have that assigned surgery, well, they can't duplicate the natural womb.
Right.
So they'll do things to keep a womb open, but it's consistently because it's a man is going to try to close that hole. So they have to take medications daily to keep an open womb open. If you saw that on anybody else just had a gaping womb on their arm, you're like, man, why don't you get that sewed up?
Thank you.
What's wrong with you? Why you just keep it? But they have to take medicine to keep it sewed up. So this is the wisdom of the wicked.
And dude said, he said, when I die, and they dig me up, he said they're gonna see I was a woman.
Yeah.
I wasn't no man. Though I went through all the transformation
Yeah.
to be a man.
The pelvis
he said,
gonna show.
I done already had children. He said, all that's gonna show.
Yeah.
He said, regardless of what I look like in my casket,
Yeah.
they're gonna say that was a woman.
Absolutely. And see, those are things that are going to happen on Judgment Day. If you sick or whatever you are, you will be standing perfectly in your perfect immortality. You're going to be in the form that you were created in the womb to be like if you follow God's commandments. You're going to be in perfect form. If you're paralyzed, if you're handicapped, you will be standing up straight so you can bow down. You won't go from a wheelchair there. That's your flesh suffering. That's already been turned back to dust. Your soul will be standing tall, every male, female, anybody accountable of their age so that they can bow down. You will be into your immortality. See, you can't roll up there or limp up to the judgment thing because you're going to be looking for mercy. Like, no, that's Sister Jenkins' son. That boy been crippled since he was about 2 years old. I know the Lord ain't gonna be fair to him. No, he ain't gonna be like this. Nope. He'll be walking like, you like, is that Sister Jackson? Is that him walking? Just like when he healed a man that couldn't walk. And he leaping, he was doing that Toyota kick and running away. That's the way you'll be on Judgment Day because it's gonna be without excuse. So you're gonna be in your immortality. Either you're going to go to the right to salvation or you're going to go to the left with the goats in your immortality. So you're going to be made whole again. Just hope it ain't from death to the lake of fire, from one grave to the other. What you got on that, Theo?
So, like, when I get into this, I'm going to have a six-pack?
Well, look, see, look. But look, he may because, look, see, some people be talking about he ain't really fat. He just big bone. But look, have anybody ever seen a big bone skeleton? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about big bone. I'm talking about like him to where his arms is just like this, and you said no, he just big bone. Ain't no big bone skeletons.
Right.
They are all the same size.
He just got big meat.
He just
your bones.
just got big meat around his bones. So, but yeah, but you will be in perfect health. That if you'll be like Adam formed before he sinned, your flesh will be perfect, but it'd be flesh celestial versus flesh terrestrial that we have now that's dying. You'll have on immortality flesh. You're gonna look exactly like you do. In a twinkling of an eye, you'll go from this corrupting till it being in supernatural form with no corruption. You're gonna look like you look. You're gonna feel like you feel, but just like a brand new car, as close I get it off the showroom floor. No faults, no lights on, no nothing. Warranty brand new. If you can only put it in that mindset, so to speak. Let's move on, y'all.
Dad, can we hear
Go
something
ahead.
real quick?
Go
Just
ahead,
a
bro.
quick, Ecclesiastes Sirach 42 and 24.
Yeah.
Well, 22 through 24.
And while we're in there, we're going to go right next to Baruch chapter 2, verse 29, y'all, because we have to establish what his name is. So far, we keep seeing his name is his commandments. Because he said, if you love me, keep my commandments.
42, verse 22 through 20. Just hit it through 25.
So how are we loving God? He say, if you love me, keep my commandments. Then you love me, you know what my name is.
That's right.
If you love me, your parents don't say you have to go out there and just say my name to everybody. Be home when the street lights come on. Take that trash out. Wash them dishes.
Right. That's right.
You ain't got to say her name for that, do you?
No.
You know who put the message out, though, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Now go to sleep watching Soul Train, and that trash ain't took out when she get home.
You're going to be watching.
Boy, look here. Boy, look here. And you're going to find out what it's like to take out trash at 1 in the morning. Won't we know?
You say you're going to feel that soul
Yeah,
train.
boy, look here.
Soul train track.
Track, yeah. Jasmine say Soul Train. Okay. It was a dance show, you know, like back in the mid-70s.
Telling you age.
We got a question.
Oh, I just seen it.
What you say, please ask us?
Where you going? Ecclesiastes?
Sirach chapter 42, verse 22 through 25.
Okay.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 22. Oh, how desirable are all thy works, and that a man may see even to a spark. All things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient.
Like the sun and the moon and the stars. They don't never break ranks. Go ahead.
All things are in doubt, one against another.
24.
All things are double,
Yes, sir.
one against another.
Yeah.
And he has made nothing imperfect.
Y'all see that? Nothing imperfect. Say a lot for that license. Nothing is imperfect. He told Jeremiah, I formed you in the womb. Everybody is formed like that.
And he said, I knew you.
I
I
knew
know everyone that is formed in the womb. That's how everyone is come equipped with the word of Yah. Already attached to
That's
it.
right.
That's why you soul as a child even knows right and wrong when they're doing right or wrong. Even an animal, your beast knows when it's done something wrong, and you come in and even you don't even say nothing, just have a look.
Right.
And the dog knows that, oh, I done messed up.
Or
And
you
it goes
holler, who did that?
It goes retract. So every creation comes with the instruction manual attached.
Yeah.
Read on, bro.
Verse 25. One thing established the good of another, and who shall be filled with the holding his glory?
So, y'all, it's clear
With
right there.
beholding.
Nothing was made imperfect. Everything was perfect. The sun and the moon, man and woman was created perfect because he said it. And Adam and Eve, and he said because, and the morning and the evening was what? The sixth day, and it was what?
Good.
So he was not a bad individual. His creation was not a bad individual, had imperfections. No, a lot of times this mental, it could be fertility drugs taken. And it's causing a reaction for the fetus that it may be trying to twin and it can't.
Because he said even Satan was perfect in his creation.
In his creation. Yeah, it was. Till iniquity
iniquity
was
was
found
found in.
within. Nobody tempted the devil. There's no head above the earth. There ain't an individual or spirit that you can go find and say, there he is right there. That's the one who put the devil on the right path. Now, it's some people that done some wicked things that we done seen that we may not seen, like kill his whole family, then drown all his children and shoot them in the head. Now, the devil may show up and say, wait a minute, player. You done went farther than me. But he's saying that now to those who blaspheme the Holy Spirit. You know why? And those who say the Bible is tampered with, because the devil has never said the Bible was tampered with. Only his disciples that he's trying to get into the lake of fire with him. The devil always asks you, What did God tell you to do? First, it's not a scripture in here that the devil comes and tries to destroy you without asking you, what do you know and how do you serve your God? He did it with the Messiah. He did it with Abraham. He did it with Job. Every time the devil comes, he did it with Eve, didn't he?
Yes.
First thing he asked, he said, what did God tell you? He said, don't listen to you, first of all. Listen to them trees over there.
He called the accuser of me.
The accuser of our
How
brother.
do you accuse?
How do you accuse? With law breaking, not with free cases. The devil don't give out free cases. He always asks. And James say, when lust, he entices us with our lusts. He knows what the flesh likes. He watches the flesh on you. And that's why that movie Lucifer, he always say, Shalom Raphael. He always asks, but what do you really want?
Right.
And when they ask that, that's against what God has instructed you.
Right.
When they ask, what do you want? What do you mean what I want? I want what the Lord wants for me. I want to be able to keep these commandments to the letter. The devil will flee from you then.
Like, oh, we ain't working together.
Like, who is this nerd?
Ain't that what the genie in the lamp say?
This a word nerd. Let me get out
What's
of here
your-
and go
what's
find
your
somebody
3
else.
wishes?
Yeah, what he say? Give me your 3 wishes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Some question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Leslie Reader here in the chat asked, how will we see our resurrected loved ones if they were buried in another state or country? How will we recognize them?
Like I say, you'll recognize them as their age. So what happens is, if you had an older sibling or something like that, you'll be older than them when you see them again. They'll be the age they were at that time. They don't age. They don't get no more birthdays. That's the age you'll see them in the kingdom and the birth. But look, we're all brothers and sisters at this time. So it ain't like that's my big brother, that's my big sister. In the kingdom, you're all brothers and sisters. Because they asked, she had 7 husbands.
Yeah.
Which one will be her husband in the kingdom? No, ain't no marriage in that. We ain't gonna even deal with marriage laws like that. They're brothers and sisters. You start to get like, what happens is you're becoming, when you get past, a woman get past menopause and a man get past his strength is abated. Now you just become brothers and sisters in the house. Sister, you gonna cook that pie tonight? Brother, you know I ain't getting you and go get that flour like I need it. But you're called brothers and sisters now in the faith, and that's where we are. We don't even know each other, but we call each other brother and sister. Sister, brother, because ain't no titles. We're just one in the faith. And y'all, we're going to get to the understanding today of when that's told, when that's going to happen. But elderly people just start to get to the point that where you get a kiss in the morning, you drink your coffee, but it ain't, you're past that part of being in the world of being fruitful and multiplying physically. Now it's all spiritual.
Right, and that's what I was going to say too as well, because in the kingdom we'll be spiritual.
Yeah.
But those fleshly bodies, regardless to where they're buried on this earth, will be in the same place prayerfully in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't worry about it. We're in Oklahoma and
Right.
California and
Well, they just buried that.
right.
Now, if you make the first resurrection, Christ's resurrection, you'll go directly, there'll be a gathering and you'll be brought to Jerusalem if you're an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
If you're saved of the nations, you'll be in the nations allotted to your foreparents.
Right.
Because Zephaniah say every man will go back to
his own
their own
place.
land, and then some will say, well, take us with you, for we hear God is with you. 10 men out of every nation will take hold of an Israelite, and that's just to train them so they can go back and teach their nations like Zechariah 14 say. But you just picture yourself like this, and then you just go from this to immortality. I'm talking about you don't feel anything. That me is feeling like the best thing, however it felt. See, as we get older, young people talk about how fast they can run. When you get past your 50s, like up here at this table, we start talking about how you had a good dump. Look. You be talking about, man, boy, all of it, I released, it was some stuff trapped up here. You got all of that up there too? All of that up there too. Boy, I feel good. Young folks talking about other stuff. But that's our daily talk. That gets thrown in daily now.
That knee just popping
Boy,
for
look
no
here.
reason.
Sis also want to know, is there going to be children in the kingdom?
Right.
Yes.
All of children.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Will there be children birthed in the kingdom?
Yeah, we'll.
Born in righteousness, because
yeah.
it's got to go back to the same as Garden of Eden.
Absolutely. Everything has
Children
to,
born in righteousness.
it has to be completed before Adam and Eve sinned. That makes it complete, or God's plan has failed. We can't go to a new generation or something to try to make it. It has to be like the Garden of Eden, because that was paradise. That was perfection. So yes, children will be born. That's when you read Isaiah 4, 1 Corinthians 15,
Yes, sir.
51. Those that are alive and remain
Right.
in a twinkling of an eye, they shall be changed back like Adam was, and then they'll reproduce on earth. Those that are alive and remain. Everybody else that died during the tribulation or have died before, they be resurrected like the angels.
The angels.
And whenever an angel came around, we thought they were men, didn't we?
Exactly. We talked
You say
to
a
them.
man came
They
here and
ate.
talked to me. They ate. They do the things, and then when Christ came back, he said, "That's a ghost." He said, "Do a ghost? Can a ghost do this?" He said, "Give me some food. Give me a little of that fish over there. Give me some of that fish over there." He said, "Can a ghost eat?" Come over here, feel me. Come here, Thomas. You the one doubting anyway. Put your hand right here. Put your hand right there, not right here, and it went through like that. But he said, "Yo, put your hand right there. You know, put in my holes. You feel the hole?" He had him stick his fingers in the hole to verify it was him. But he just transformed back to that flesh. But he'll go back to his everlasting flesh in Micah 5th chapter. Because Christ was born before everlasting. So we have to understand how long he's technically been around. He's always been the high priest of Melchizedek. Even in the heavens. What we got? We good on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We got another one. Exodus Forms asks, is there a script?
Is there a what?
Is there a script for reference as to the age of someone in the kingdom?
The age of someone in the kingdom?
Is there a scripture?
Well, we know that it tells us.
There is no time.
Did it ever be one scripture?
Well, look, we know the oldest man there that ever existed. The oldest going to be 969 that lived on this side. That was Methuselah. He didn't live one day, though. 1,000 years is one day.
Right.
So the oldest man, everybody in the kingdom will be short of one day. Except the Messiah, who's in the image of the Father. He's been around. But, you know, when we're talking about just people in general. And look, y'all, like I said, I was talking to Moses about this today again, because everything has to come back complete. 1/3 of angels were thrown out of heaven. That means that there's only 2/3 of angel in the host of heaven. It's not complete, is it?
No.
2/3 of mankind or Israel will be destroyed off of planet Earth.
Off the top.
Off the top. That means 1/3 righteously will get back in that kingdom. Now, does that make up the angels that fail? Could.
But then again,
Because we'll
it's
be like the angels.
It's as a drop is to a wave.
Yeah.
Not everybody in that last third don't make it. They'll
Right.
make
Well, that's
the
what I'm
judgment.
saying. Well, no, it has to be a third. That say 2/3 going to be destroyed.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So a third gonna make it.
so
A third gonna make
and that's
it.
what I'm saying is, if we know 2/3 won't make it out of that 1/3, because like all of us here,
Right.
we practice this, we study this, we trying our best to get to the kingdom.
Right.
But because we do this, some of us still gonna fall short, right?
You'll be a part
Not
of that
that
2/3
1/3.
then.
Right.
See, it's
You
the
would already
parable of
be
the
gone.
sower, man.
1/3 is
So-
already a sealed number.
Yeah, it's Matthew.
Right.
It's Matthew.
So you will be included in that 2/3, even though you're in the 1/3, because it's gonna have to be a third to
I don't know
go.
where you just
well,
went, boy.
well, look,
Only 3/3.
look. Revelation
You know what I
6.
mean?
Revelation. I understand exactly what you're saying, but we don't want to get mixed up. What I'm talking about is the resurrected dead that shall be like angels. That could be 1/3 of the population or the 1/3 of Israel. They have to replace the 1/3 of the angels
That's
that
gone,
fed.
right.
There's no number on the host of the earth, so we don't know how many that could be, what 1/3 could be. But what I'm saying is, if they're resurrected, now there's a part of that 1/3 that makes it, but they're changed in a twinkling of an eye. It's still part of the 1/3. but the host of heaven must be made complete again.
Exactly.
So where does that host of angels come back from? So I speak as a man. I was just trying to put something together to say, hey, if we're going to be like the angels in the resurrection,
Can that complete
if you're going to be like they in the male and female,
could that 1/3 complete that
whole,
Third,
and then that
third
other
that
part of
failed.
remnant repopulates Israel, but it has to be back in a whole like it was designed when it said, and it is good.
Because see, even on earth,
And I see.
when the one disciple fell, he was replaced.
Yeah.
So there had to be that number because of the prophecies. You should be on 12 thrones judging the nation of Israel.
Yes, sir.
Israel. So that number had to still be complete, a completed number.
Yeah.
So and likewise, that third has to be made back up to complete the host of angels,
That whole
and then bring back the whole cycle back into completeness.
Yes, sir.
Like in the
Yes,
Garden of
sir.
Eden.
Hold on, Theo got one, then I'm get your email. Go ahead.
So with that being said, those that 1/3, you think they won't be able to reproduce though, because they be like the angels.
Those that rock.
That 1/3 of
The
that
one that
portion.
changed in the twinkling of an eye will.
Right, but what y'all talking about the
No, it's the same group. They're just divided. One portion of this 1/3 on earth possibly could be filling the angel spot. The other part is filling Adam, but it's still with all in the 1/3 program because Adam was in immortality. There's still immortality, but they get to reproduce. But the ones who are resurrected like angels don't get to reproduce like it was from the beginning.
Yeah, that's
Angels
what-
were
I mean,
not
basically
sent
what you're
to
saying.
reproduce.
That's basically what
They
you're
left
saying.
their estate in Genesis 6. They left that estate
Right.
and want to be like the men on earth. So that fullness will come back like it's supposed to on both halves. I was just throwing it out there, just a thought, a process. Don't write it down and make me a prophet. And then they have posters up. And look, I'd be sitting on some posters like this. The great Daniel said.
Well, I ain't gonna be the one that's painting you.
Right. I'm cool, like, give me like this. Did you get that dimple?
No, I put a hole in your face.
Emo, hold on. Did you have something back there? Huh?
That was the question, would they be able to reproduce?
Yeah. Well, you will. Let's get that real quick. Give me a real quick. Well, I tell you what. Go ahead, Theo.
about the age thing,
I don't want to go off topic too much because we got a little bit to get. Go ahead.
when you talking about the age thing,
Uh-huh.
and the King of Isaiah 65:20 kind of hit that. It said, there should be no more of this, an infant of days.
Right.
Nor an old man that has not filled his days.
Right.
Or the child should die 100 years old. But the sinner being 100 years old should
Yeah.
be cursed.
So what it's saying is just a child before it graduates to the next level. It's saying a child should die at 100 years old. So 100 is the minimum. You'll be in like a child state. But in all righteousness, all children go who's under the age of accountability. And what I mean by that, they have not reached a flower, or a young man has not emitted life yet. So once you reach those, because now they come under the law, Leviticus 15, they have to learn washing procedures, washing rituals. You have to know you're going to be unclean to eat, because now they're technically become a god because they can reproduce life. So, and if that's at 10, if that's at 11, parents have to be careful. They're responsible for them at that age, and they have to tell them this is what you have to do. If they die out, these children, when they reach that age, have to know how to cleanse themselves and not be unclean going into the next day. So that's taught as soon as that, and women get the tip off that their daughter had reached that point. They get that sensitivity, want to cover up, to be like, yeah, what's wrong? That gal must be coming. They start calling they aunties and stuff. I think it's that time is about to have a party. Why they throw a party? I don't know why, but they throw a party. But men, how you will know a young man, his voice cracks.
That's my boy.
Yeah. Hey, daddy, we going to the game. You're like, wait a minute. That boy say that again. We going to the game.
I didn't go through that.
Boy, look, cause his voice been like that since he been 2. Hey, daddy, we going to the game. He like, something wrong with that boy. He sound like Barry White now. That boy becoming a man.
And even his crying.
Yeah, he crying real tough. And how was he crying?
Some of that milk,
Yes, sir. But y'all, look, that's what the kingdom of heaven is about, y'all, and that's what our family members are about. Because look, if they age every day, say from now in their state where they're now in the departed state, you wouldn't know them anyway if you saw them.
Right.
If you saw them 100 years later, you wouldn't know that that's them.
Right.
You're going to see what you recognize.
Right.
And you're going to say, that's my brother or that's my sister. That's my mother. Because they'll be the same age of recognition. Now, what they may not know is recognize you, but they will, because everybody will be in supernatural. This recognition, y'all, that's why we have to stay on our game. If we want to see them again, that means we have to stay on our game. Exactly. Because we don't know where they're at. And if they're there in Abraham's bosom, if they're waiting, we got to do everything we can or we're going to disappoint them.
Exactly.
Right.
We're going to disappoint them.
He said we shall loathe in the way we used to.
Yeah, we're going to hit all that today, y'all. But that's very good on that Isaiah 60 about a child. Look, you'll be just like Adam and Eve was. They were grown children, so to speak. That's why when Satan did, he say, I'm going to curse you worse than anybody I ever curse. You attack children?
In their innocence.
In their innocence. That's when the devil like to come, and that's what he's doing, and that's what's happening to children underage now. The workers of iniquity are attacking children and tell them, don't believe God, you get to choose what you want. Right. You God. And they're doing it to the innocent of children.
Yeah. That's why you see the children going amok.
Yeah.
Way out of control. But you see that in Proverbs 20, what's that? Proverbs 28?
Yeah.
There cometh the generation that curseth its mother and its father.
Mm-hmm.
Women are oppressors and children rule over them.
Rule over them. That's Isaiah 3rd chapter. Yeah. What you got, Emo?
You know, you brought up a point because I was reading somewhere in, is it the Adam and Eve, the book of Adam and Eve, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
And when Adam was dying or had died, Eve called her 30-something children.
Right, they had 30 sons and 30 daughters.
Right.
And,
Boy, they was getting it in.
and thank you.
But she was cursed with multiple conceptions. So what does that mean? 20. Go ahead. What you got, Emo?
And even at the age of them all, they still had so much respect for their parents that she told them what to do, and immediately they just as she even said it, before it even got out of her mouth, they were doing it.
Yeah.
And that amazed me because it's not, it goes beyond what the people are doing today.
Yeah. Did you see though, the devil didn't stop attacking though?
No.
He's what he is. He don't care. You don't get a moment's rest.
No. He go full throttle.
You are in a war. There's no time to rest. You can't say wake me up if you see him coming. No.
He's always coming.
Go ahead, bro. Got to move on. Tell me, got to move on. Go ahead. We'll catch back up. Go ahead. Go ahead, too bad. I get that last one. Yeah.
Okay. Stephen Cash asks, is the 144,000 part of the 1/3?
Possible. But they came from earth. That's another thing. That's what we're saying. They were changed to immortality. The 144,000 mentioned in Revelation 7, Revelation 14, and say these are the ones that have never been defiled by a woman. That means religiously or fleshly. So they never was part of a man-made doctrine or anything. And it says no guile were found in their mouth of the 144,000. They're all male virgins. And it said they were redeemed from earth. And they were given a seal and white robes. So yes, they're part of the 144,000 if they're taken away, because all these men were taken like in Enoch state. The 144,000. But then it says in Revelation, I saw another number, which no man can number, of all kindred. See, that kills the Jehovah's Witness doctrine, because they say it's only the 144,000. But the women are already in trouble, because it says the 144,000 are all male virgins. So unless the woman gonna do some transfiguration and become one of the 144,000, she wasting her time knocking on your door, ain't she?
But that just shows the cowardice of they men in their religion.
Yeah.
You gonna send a woman to a stranger's door?
Yeah.
And you stand off to the altar?
Yeah.
What if she gets snatched in there? What you gonna do, run?
Yeah. The devil in there. But look, they ain't worried about it because look, they technically are at an advantage because they show us how we should be going out by twos. Look, gang members are running the house, Elisha, when they see Jehovah Witnesses coming.
Yep.
They sitting up there with AKs, the best artillery, and they, damn, here come these Jehovah Witnesses. Get in the house. Get in the house. You be thinking, shit, these the top bloods. There's something that been let out the top Crips. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, this the other side to that. It just shows you how the dark is scared of the light.
Boy, look here.
How the dark
only by
fears the
two.
light coming.
Not a gang on a street corner like these camps out there with 30 and 40 screaming, that's a gang. He ain't never sent us out as a gang. Who went to Pharaoh? How many?
2.
Who going to the Antichrist? How many? And these are superpowers.
Yes.
World rulers.
Rule the world.
It say only 2 need to go to tell you about God's power. He don't need a gang to do that.
Because he created everything. The fullness thereof.
And we're going to get to David, and we're going to see that where that power we talking about, what he did to the power of the Philistines. By himself.
By himself.
And the slingshot of the Most High.
15 years old. 5 foot
2.
four.
Boy, look here. Say, Elijah, so short he gets stand on the ladder to pick his hair out. Yes, sir.
No, what else?
Elijah got the memo in a Pentecost shirt.
Look.
Say the Pentecost shirt, you got the Pentecost shirt.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah, I got mine.
I'm a little early.
Oh, y'all look, boy.
Yeah.
Y'all matching again. Y'all doing that matching stuff again. Yeah. But we just messing with y'all cause some would say, well, some of y'all wear the same clothes up there. That's just happenstance. Ain't no memo go
We
out.
don't be calling each other.
No, it's the spirit.
Yeah.
But look, y'all, and this is all we're saying, y'all. We understand all of the questions and the things about death, but we're going to get all that today because there's a law and a rule for death. So we're going to cover all that today, and to take his name in vain is to say he made a mistake with you. He don't make mistakes. Look, even when the high priest, they were the only one, the tribe of Levi, was only the high priest that couldn't marry but a virgin. They could have no deformities that could be seen in the flesh. I want y'all to understand that because they had that mirror immortality.
Right.
They were the ones you took your sins to, and then they took their sin and then yours to the Father. But they had to be chosen, so they had to be looked over perfectly.
Yes.
If Absalom had been out of the tribe of Levi, he would have been what we talked about as a high priest. Real quick, hit that 2 Samuel 14 and 14, I believe, so you can see how Absalom looked. Absalom was one of the most handsomest men in Israel and had a fro the size of Dr. J.
Come on.
Sister Jazz, Absalom would have told the Soul Train line up because his fro was this big. You're going to have to see some old Soul Train pictures to know what we're talking about.
Just go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just look up Soul Train on YouTube. You'll see it. You be bugging up too. Y'all really dance? Y'all look like that, mama? Y'all dress like that?
Yeah.
Y'all dance like that?
Yes, sir.
Where you going, Daniel?
It's 2 Samuel 14, then Absalom. Well, I'm looking for his hair from the sole of his foot. Maybe, is it 1 Samuel 4? Hold on, let me get it.
Yeah, it ain't second.
Hold on, here is Absalom. Is it,
About his hair?
yeah, from the sole of his foot. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do something real quick called Google.
Talk about.
Y'all got it?
It's 2 Samuel chapter 14, verse 25.
Verse, okay, 25. What it
25
say?
and 26.
That's what I'm talking about.
2 Samuel chapter 14, verse 25. But in all Israel, there is none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty.
For his what?
His beauty. From the sole of his foot.
From where?
From the sole of his foot.
Uh-huh.
Even to the crown of his head.
Uh-huh.
There was no blemish.
What was there?
There was no blemish in him.
No blemish, y'all. From the bottom of his foot to the top of his head, you couldn't find nothing wrong. You could like, no, that's a 6. No, that look like a 7.5 pack. That ain't really a 6 pack he carrying it. No, his biceps ain't. No, he a little short. No. From the sole of his foot, you could not find anything. Wasn't no 6 finger. You know how people have a knot right here and say that's an extra finger. Wasn't none of that. But read what else it say after that next verse.
Verse 26.
Yeah, and this for everybody to say you shouldn't cut your hair is against the law. That ain't what Deuteronomy 19:28 was talking about. Go ahead.
And when he polled his hair.
When he did what?
When he polled his hair.
That's a haircut. Go ahead.
For it was at every year's end that he polled.
He cut his hair once a year. Go ahead.
Because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he polled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's weight.
So see, y'all, this how much hair he shaved off his head once a year. And when you talk about 1 Corinthians 11, a man shouldn't have long hair, you don't understand what that means. That ain't talking about physical long hair. It's saying switching roles with a woman. Because it's talking about the hierarchy. The father head of the son head of man head of a woman. If that order leapfrogs, now the man have long hair. Is it comely that the man acts like the woman in the relationship? Right. And should a woman shave her hair? No, because she's going to be like the man. That's why most women teachers have buzz cuts. Joyce Myers, all of them have buzz cuts. And they stomping heavy. You're like, is them some Timberland high heels? She got on what the hell? So they get that misunderstood about a man having long hair. It's not talking about that, because you still going to have a problem with number 6 chapter. That's the vow of the Nazarite. How about I go into a vow of a Nazarite? I can't cut my hair. It's going to grow. That means when it grows, what is it going to be called after it grows? If it's short and it grows, what is it going to be called? Long. 1 Corinthians 11 it's not, you don't take account for the law of long hair.
Right, I know how it is.
Boy, look here. And see, and they think that that's what it means. You ought to cut your hair. You ought to do this. Christ is in a Nazarite vow until he comes back with us. He said, I'll drink no more new wine with you.
Right.
He went into a Nazarite vow. Read number 6 chapter and read the vows of a Nazarite.
And the only time they cut their hair is when they were defiled by a dead body.
Samson didn't cut his hair, did he? Well, he finally let Delilah cut it.
Right.
But it was long. It had 7 locks. And that cut his hair, but it had nothing to do with it. His hair started growing back when they made sport out of it. Right. It started growing back long again. So if you don't understand 1 Corinthians 11, that's why the law is so important. Let's go to the law of hair and see, should men have a haircut all the time? And it will tell you, Joseph got shaved when he come out of prison, didn't he? Mm-hmm. They didn't know who he was. In Egypt had that cut with that ball hanging off the back, don't they? He was in that position. They came back and they said it's an Egyptian. They didn't even know who their brother was. Right. So that's why I'm saying they only remember him when he was 17 and got took away. They didn't see him grow into his adult years. So that's why I'm saying in the kingdom, you'll only see the people as you remember them the last time before they left this earth. Yeah. That's the last time. If you have dreams about them, that's going to be your last image. Yeah. Blind people only remember the last thing they saw and backwards.
That's true.
Other than that, they feeling like Ray Charles. Oh, that's a big bone woman. Go ahead, y'all. Let's keep it moving.
That's all you want to say.
Yeah, that Baruch 2:29 we want now, while we're in the Apocrypha. And y'all, then we'll move forward. What we're doing is breaking down the third commandment, how not to take his name in vain. The first thing is you got to fear him and his laws. If he tell you something, there is not a discussion. It's not open for discussion. He told you if you want to live, do this. If you want to die, go the opposite way. The choices are live or die, and we have to push our chips to the center of the table. You have to be a full believer from Genesis to Revelation. If you have any doubt, this is not for you. Right. Or you will end up like somebody that pushed half their chips to the table. If they win, they're like, damn, why didn't I do what? No, you don't want to do this with this. Ain't no makeup. Push your chips to the center of the table. It's all or nothing with this. All or nothing. The courts do it. Look, perjury is an automatic 5 years based on you putting your hand on this. You've perjured yourself. You swore. See, because they know we ain't studied. This say never swear unless you're 100% certain you can take that to your grave. Say, I affirm. That means I'm going to tell you the best I understand it, and they will accept it. We'll accept affirm. We'll accept it because they got pictures hiding that you don't know about, that they're going to throw on the table just like they do in First 48. Is that you? And do dirty now.
Doing dirty.
Yeah, but that's an old picture. No, see, you're going to have to keep explaining. When you push your chips to the center of the table, it is what it is. The word of the Most High, you've trust in here that it's not going to come back void. So we're going to finish this lesson up, y'all. We're going to show you how to get it in here where you trust it and you have no reserve. You'll walk into fire if that's what it is, and trust that he's going to be there for you, and the smell of smoke won't even be on you. Let's get some more. What you got?
I got a short question. Anthony Johnson asked, what are you saying? You cut your hair, you should grow yours?
Do what?
That's what I was looking at.
He
They
might
said,
have
what are you
What
saying?
saying?
You cut your hair, you should grow yours. That's what it's saying, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What? You should cut your hair?
No,
Tell
he's
him to
saying,
rewrite
what
that.
you saying?
They asked him, what are you saying?
What am I saying? What I'm saying is, if you're reading Leviticus 19:28, where it says men shouldn't cut bald around their hair, that, and also 1 Corinthians 11 to say a man shouldn't have long hair. That's what we're discussing. But 1 Corinthians 11 is giving you a parable, more so than it's telling you about long hair, because it says a woman's hair is given her for her covering, not where we're at. So how is she covered then if her hair is given her covering? Do she have to have a scarf on her head? Because it says in the next verse, her hair is given to her for a covering. So where we at now, Elisha? Do she have to wear a scarf then? If her hair is given to her for a covering. But if she have no hair, she wear a scarf, so we know it's a woman.
But see, you need to read that whole chapter to understand it's about the hierarchy of the hierarchy of the structure of the
Absolutely,
family.
that's all it's talking about. Ahab switched that order, y'all. If this is what we talk about, 1 Corinthians 11 say you can't have an Ahab and Jezebel situation in your household.
Right.
That's all 1 Corinthians 11 is talking about. As far as cutting hair, we were talking about Leviticus was saying, like men say you can't cut your hair. You can cut your hair, you can grow your hair long. Your hair just have to be neat.
Right.
Because we're a clean people. You got to wash it.
Right.
You got to clean out. You can't, because we see constantly her being oiled, her being anointed.
He said, anoint your head.
Yeah, even when you fasting, put some Afro sheen in your head. Put some Vaseline on your lips. Don't be looking like you fasting, hair nappy, full of blanket lint. No, man, brother, just fasting, fasting for the Lord. You
But
boy, you need some Vaseline on your lips.
But you also see that Elijah was bald headed.
Yes, sir.
I was bored.
They holler, go up thou bald head. Now see, they don't want you to do nothing to your hair because they want control, but it's all about the outer flesh. The Most High don't care about no outer flesh. It's going to die anyway.
The Most High stopped my top of my head from growing 20 years ago.
20 years
What am I supposed
ago.
to do about that?
Right.
What about us that can't grow facial hair?
Yeah.
Long beards and things
Look,
like
and
that.
these same groups got Indians on their list as one of the tribes. Have y'all ever seen an Indian with a mustache or a beard?
Nope.
And how you gonna throw beard laws at us? Look at him up there sitting at the table. He ain't got no beard. I can't grow no beard.
Mine keep looking like it's getting snatched out.
Right.
I don't even do nothing to it.
I asked Nat Turner, boy, come on, give me that website.
Boy, I told you I ain't shaved in 10 years. This all I get.
Look, they told
At
me,
least you get that. I don't.
cut your,
That's all I get.
look, they
I ain't
told
ran the
me,
clippers up here in 20 years.
right, cut your mustache off, it'll make it grow back thicker.
Okay.
That was in 1980. This
Yours
is all
still
it
ain't
grew back.
Yours still ain't working.
It ain't for me, y'all. So,
Right. Throwing the towel a long time ago.
yeah. So, y'all, we have to understand when he gives us law, statutes, and judgment, it was compared to that people, them Canaanites. They used to bald their heads to where they would kill the hair follicles. And then they will mar, the word is mar, it means to destroy. So you can't cut your beard off, like them pork chops, and then what they used to do that stuff, like what do they call it when they wax it so the follicles can't come out? And you destroy the follicles so it keloid over. And then hair can't grow anymore. You can't do that. Your beard must always be able to grow back. The Philistines mocked some of David's soldiers. They called them. They cut half of their beard and mustache off, all the way, and then they cut the backside, cut their drawers off on one side too, and they sent them back to David and with half a beard and half a pair of drawers on. And David told me, y'all, look, don't come back out the battle. Y'all stay in and grow your beards back. Can you imagine that? The beard like Nat Turner on here and the other side like Elijah's over here.
Oh no.
They just looking bad.
They was embarrassed.
Running, all the backside out. Look, that could have been where hospital gowns came from. Look, they had a hospital gown on running, with half their beard off. The Bible is a living book, y'all.
Boy, talk about humiliation, boy.
Yeah, let's get it, y'all. Let's get caught up. Baruch chapter 2, verse 29. We're in the Apocrypha now. And y'all, we just getting back to understanding what his name is, y'all, and what it's going to come down to is going to be the law. That's his name.
That is.
If you keep his name, then you know his law.
That's why he said, I'll come in the volume of the book.
That's right.
It is written of me.
We don't care nothing about you knowing or what you think name you know. If you ain't keeping the commandments, you don't know his name.
That's right.
Don't even say you can't put his name in a box.
That's what we're talking about. That's a great video. Can't put it in a box. All of those are titles. The mighty Redeemer. Those are titles of his power.
What's
but
the new
his
name?
true name?
What's the new name?
Written on his thigh.
On his thigh.
What's that?
That's what we ask.
No man knoweth.
Let's get some more of this, y'all. Baruch chapter 2, verse 29. What it say?
Baruch 2:29. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them.
The minority. Go ahead.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
What kind of people?
Stiff-necked.
Y'all know when you be trying to comb, y'all mothers know when you be trying to comb, they be beat your head still. And they just keep turning that stiff neck. Won't hear the truth, just keep. You try to turn on the righteous, they keep just pushing back from it. Go ahead, what else to say?
But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
What shall we do in the land of our captivities?
Remember ourselves.
See, so that lie of you can't do the law in the Holy Land, you can't do feast days in the Holy Land, this say in captivity. Let's read some more and clear it up.
And shall know that I am the Most High thy power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear.
Right.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity.
What we gonna do in the land of our captivity?
Praise him. In the land of our captivity, and think upon my name.
In the land of their captivity.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Most High. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it.
What shall they be?
Landlords of it.
That's right.
And I will increase them. And they shall not be diminished.
So this is the children increasing in the land when he brings us back. Isaiah 4th chapter 1 through 4. That's when men shall take hold of 7 women. It's only for repopulation purposes. To get Israel going back up to the point that where they need to be. They'll be left over like that to get where the numbers need to be. That's in the kingdom. That's for those that are alive and remain. Those are the key words, just like 1 Corinthians 15:51. No inner twinkling of an eye. But those that are alive and remain, this is what you get. But guess what? That's the Lord. I'll say, you can't precede those that have died already in the name of the Lord. They get to go first.
That's right.
So you still got to wait. If you left alive, see, the Lord may leave you alive because you may be scared of death really like that. So he'll put you where he need to put you, but you don't precede the ones that gave their life. You told the Antichrist, man, come on with what you gonna do. I ain't got time for this. Hurry up, send me to the kingdom. Those go before anybody. Let's read some more.
Said that the righteous in death should judge those that are alive.
Yeah.
And living wickedly.
Yes, sir. What verse you on? 35?
35. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their Elohim. And they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
So we see that this prophecy in Baruch is saying the same thing. Yo, that's the fix. And what we're talking about, Exodus 20, take his name in vain is what got us cast out.
Yeah.
To take his name in vain. You'll hear somebody say his name, Yahweh, you know, say it so like they've been studying Hebrew for 50 years. And they're lawbreakers. They play with crystals. They dig into Egyptology book, but they can say the name of the Lord. And then you got other groups out here that saying if you say Yahweh, you saying Baal. See, that's confusion. You know what settles the matter that you don't have to play the name game? Keep the commandments.
Right.
Now them Negroes is getting to the point that where they say you can't trust the commandments. When you hear that, they're saying there's no light in the Bible. Get away from that individual. If you stay around because you can't believe they fell off the wagon, then go back and read Matthew 13 again about the parable of the sower. It didn't take root.
Right.
It don't matter who it is. It didn't take root. If we fall off, if we start talking some crazed doctrine.
But even Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, the conclusion of the whole matter,
the duty of man.
at the end of the day, this is what matters.
This
Fear
is
God
what
and keep
matters.
His commandments.
Because all what
And
else
live.
is what? Vanity.
Nothing.
And what commandments? Whose commandments is he talking about?
The Most High's commandments.
The ones he broke with wisdom.
Yes.
Given more wisdom
Than any king
than
on earth.
any king that ever lived on earth. And he couldn't keep the commandments. And if it hadn't been for his father David, he'd have took the dirt nap then.
And
He
that's why he said all is vanity, because though you have everything in the world,
estimated worth 6 trillion. Go
you
ahead.
can have all the knowledge and every materialistic value of the earth.
1,000 women.
But if you have not Christ, if
A
you
navy,
have
a
the
army.
commandments, you
The
have
wisest
nothing.
man in the world.
It's all worthless.
It's all what, Lisha?
worthless.
It's vanity.
It's vanity.
If
It's
you-
all vanity. If you cross them laws, sorry.
Yeah,
Dan,
go ahead. Have your business, Lisha.
You transgress them laws, everything you've had, even your life existence, is vanity.
It's vanity. It's a waste of time.
That's why Christ said, if you have not him, you are condemned already.
He rather have what than sacrifice?
Obedience.
Obedience to the law. You have to know the law to keep everybody walking with you in line. It separates the world. Though you're in the world, you're not of it.
Right. But see, without the law, there is no measuring stick.
There ain't no measuring stick. What you gonna measure with? You have to make up what sin is.
Right.
Well, I think that's wrong. You just shouldn't be walking like that.
What?
My foot hurt.
Yeah.
Well, you sinning and
Right,
you
right.
walking on it.
Well, you just said ain't no sin. The law was nailed to the cross. So why am I limping now? See, but you don't want to get into that, y'all. All we have to do is just keep the commandments. And the commandments are not what? They're not hard to follow. If somebody say you can't keep the law, just simply ask them, which one? And see if they tell you which one, because it's going to be the one they can't keep. Just ask them which one and watch them go to a whole nother level of trying to explain which one. They're not grievous. You just have to understand how they're performed. Just like you have to learn what yield mean. Yield mean you don't get to right away on oncoming traffic, do it? You're not yielding if you just come through there and make a right turn and traffic comes.
Right turn on, left turn.
No, that's what I did. Yeah, I made a left turn on the light. And I said, you can do that if ain't no cars coming. My sister said, you crazy as hell. You can't do that. Did you take the test? Let's get some more. Where we at?
Did you want that? Yeah, that 42. 42 and 43.
We finished that.
We finished that. Yeah, he hit that. Yeah, let's right now Jeremiah 31. And the Father has provided the fix for our problem, y'all. So why we read these of the law and what it does in Exodus 20 is we wanted to tell you what caused the problem. And then we could fix the problem. So the Father's going to tell us, now he's going to tell us what we did to take his name in vain. So we're going to see if we called it the wrong name. And thou pronunciated my name wrong. It's Yahweh, not Yah. It's not Yehoshua, it's Yah. And since you didn't pronounce it right, I throwed y'all out the land. We're going to have a problem here in the United States, especially when you come from Mississippi. You can't even say King of Kings. King of Kings.
Say King
of Kings. And talking with it with boldness. You like, I better not tell him that's an I. I am saying I, King of Kings.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Don't y'all know if it was about a language barrier, we in trouble?
Big trouble.
Boy, stammering lips and another tongue will I speak. Moses tried that too. Lord, I can't go tell him. He said, I stutter. He like, don't worry about it. Aaron speaks well. He'll read like Ariel to him. He speaks well. You don't have to worry about Moses. Just tell him what I say. Aaron will clean up everything else. Well, there's people, there's people who I'm going to tell them sent me. See, y'all, this is what we have to understand. When he came for us, if it's going to be like Egypt, Moses at that, who am I going to tell him? He said, just say I am. And they're like, well, they don't know no I am. He said, they going to know me after these plagues. And my name is going to be attached to plagues of disobedience and power. Then you're going to know that's me. So when you see a storm, you're going to say that's him.
Yeah.
When you see a hurricane, you're going to say that's him because it's controlled by him. What name you going to give it?
Right.
That's him. Look, all insurance, 1 through 4, they'll repay you. But if an F5 tornado come through and tear everything, they say, we can't pay you. That's an act of who? It's beyond what we're talking about. But it's that power, ain't it?
Yeah.
See, the world gonna acknowledge it anyway, y'all. We just ain't listening. They write their policies the same way. When we get to this level, ain't nothing we can do. That's the Almighty attacking. They'll try to call it Mother Nature so that it don't seem like God has a people. But tornadoes don't come in our neighborhoods. It ain't been a tornado come down St. Louis since 1959 when it was 80% white. That's the last time a tornado been through St. Louis. We don't get hurricanes. The flood waters was up to the arch steps. Still didn't flood us out. But East St. Louis don't man the dikes to keep the river there. Right. And it never overflowed in there.
Never overflowed.
If it had an overflow, it'd have wiped it out, wouldn't it? Like
they brought the Corps of Army Corps
engineers
here.
They scratched it.
And they said, in order for the river to have done what it did, that means the river had to turn sideways. They say there's no scientific explanation as to why East St. Louis didn't even get flooded a little bit. But all of Laclede Landing was up underwater all the way up to the train track.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's no population of living. It's just business district. What you got back there?
Washington, D.C. surrounded by us.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened. Now, that's not coincidence. I think they did it on purpose.
Yeah, well, the same thing with Katrina. They said they heard the wall blow. It was holding.
Yeah.
But it had to be what it be because 80% of it was rental property anyway. So even if the flood waters had abated, they couldn't go back because when they tore it all down, you don't own rental property.
Right.
Unless you're the landlord. But so they had nothing to go back to. But sometimes he had to wash it out.
Because
New Orleans is full of voodoo.
Oh, yeah.
They say French Quarter smell like rear end and grease. And if you could try to put that together, just grease burning and just somebody ain't washed in the rear. You know how somebody get up out the seat and you be like, wait a minute.
But a lot of
wait
times
a minute, he been ironing sweaty jeans for 5 days. That's that scent. Yeah, look.
But
I'm just telling
But they
you.
have
Some of
no-
y'all don't know about iron and sweaty jeans in the rear end. If you sit down when you get up in a whoosh right between, you be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Oh, I'm saying, y'all, just don't iron sweaty jeans. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. What we did, yeah. What you say, Elisha? Go ahead, Elisha.
don't worry,
Go ahead.
don't worry about it, brother.
Look, y'all, that's why the priests couldn't wear regular clothing. They had to wear linen. And guess where linen comes from? A plant just like cotton. It comes from the flaxseed plant. They make linen out of it, but linen prevents sweating. So when they go up in the Holy Holy, they couldn't be sweating here or sweating up under here. That prevented sweating. It didn't have nothing to do with women wearing pants. They were linen breeches. They were drawers that went from thigh up to your waist. Now, if those are pants, men shouldn't have them on. See, it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because them would be hot pants for a man, wouldn't they? Where we at? Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it ironic for the Father, the Master Creator of all, that we could use that plant to keep us cool,
Yeah.
keep us alkaline?
Yeah.
When we eat the seed,
Yeah.
even when we eat the flaxseed, all the nutrients that come with that.
Yeah.
So if he took care of the inside and the out.
He said, I took care of all your needs.
Yeah.
You grow. Think about this. All the clothes we have on now were grown from a plant.
Yeah. You got
Cotton.
cotton. Miriam growing some cotton right now.
Now, what ain't grown is what you have to be careful of. Sweating in the club, electric sliding, is polyester. It's man-made. It's synthetic. Just like drugs that are synthetic. They got a side effect. Polyester has a side effect. Not cotton or linen. Let's get some more. What you got to do?
It's an issue I don't know what, boy.
Huh?
That polyester will allow you to be sick, not make you sick, but allow you to be sick.
Yeah.
It allows you to hold that
Yeah.
sickness in your body.
Yeah.
Polyester will.
Yes, sir. You know, and that's what them polygamists don't understand. They got on polyester.
Ha!
Multiple esters. Let's get some more, y'all. I'm just messing. Go ahead, y'all. Where we at? Where we at? Jeremiah 31,
31.
29 through 37.
Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 29. In those days, they
Hold
shall.
on, now here's pages flipping. Y'all, and what we want to do, y'all, we're talking about the Most High putting the fix in because of what we did. You have to know what we did to cause us to be in this position, y'all. And it was law breaking, y'all. It wasn't, there ain't nowhere when it said take his name in vain, it means how you pronounce or how you say it out of your mouth. Because back in the ancients, you were not, some weren't even allowed to say his name. Not only that, but there was no consonant and vowels.
Right.
Say his name like this. Read it like this. But just if this would be YHWH, there's no vowels or consonants in it. Now pronounce it. Now let's watch country come out then. Go ahead. What you got over the two, Bob? We got to get moving. Go.
Proverbs 30:9, it says, lest I be fooled,
Uh-huh.
and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord?
Uh-huh.
Or lest I be poor,
Uh-huh.
and steal, and take the name of my God in vain.
See, take it counted as worthlessness. Once you say the Bible is tampered with, or you get it in here, you might as well say it's worthless. A little leavening do what?
Let the whole lump.
Look, you can't say this verse is tampered with. The whole Bible is through. It's through at that point. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 29.
Yeah.
In those days, they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten our sour grape,
Uh-huh.
the children's teeth are set on edge. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity.
What gonna happen in the new covenant?
Everyone shall die for his own iniquity.
Uh-huh.
Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge.
So you won't be able to pass it to generations anymore. Go ahead.
Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand and to bring them out of the land of Egypt,
Uh-huh.
which my covenant they break.
What they do?
break.
Uh-huh.
Although I was an husband unto them, saith the Most High.
What was he?
An husband.
See, this covenant is keep talking about marriage, y'all. Other gods don't deal with marriage. That's why he say when we go mess with another god, we play the harlot. You're married, Israel. You're playing the harlot, so that means to be burnt with fire. Go ahead.
Verse 33.
Yeah.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Most High.
After what?
Those days.
So when you read anything where it say, and in the day of the Lord, this is when he talk about that covenant going to come to pass. So now Isaiah 4, 1 through 4 comes to pass after this in those days when a new covenant, so you understand marriage covenant correctly for those that are alive and remain. You can't go back unto these fake people just writing and signing text messages to my we's married. Ain't gonna be none of that foolishness. Everybody gonna be on the exact page of what marriage is. Because he's making a new covenant of free of your own ideas about marriage. Let's get some more.
After those days, saith the Most High, I will put my law in their inward part.
What he gonna do with his law?
Put them in their inward part.
Don't y'all understand how covenant and law keep coming back up? No matter how we try to get rid of the law, it's coming back in your inward parts. I'm going to put it in there where you can't say they didn't have no Bibles where I was going to study. No, I'm going to put it right here where it started off in the beginning. Everybody started off right here. That's how you know when you're in a strange place, the devil will be on your left shoulder and it's like here. Because we always say no matter what's around, the decision you made, I should have did what?
Follow my first mind.
And that's what Satan always asks you. What's your first mind? God told me don't listen to you. You got to be kidding me. You don't want no fun is what you saying. You want to be stiff and stuck up, huh? That's what you want to be. You want to be just standing here on the Sabbath day. Don't want to have no fun. You want to do all this. You want to just can't worship who you want to. You can't be yourself.
I ain't stuck up.
You's a God, you know.
You a God, you know. You sure about that? I'm saying my show. You better read some Ezekiel 28:12 about me. You better read some Isaiah 14. No, don't read Isaiah 14. It's talking about my bad side. Just read some that Ezekiel 28 talking about my bad side. Just forget the commandments of God. Do you want to be like me?
Look how pretty I am.
Look how pretty I am. And I can sing too. Because
I got you well.
He led the choir in the heavens. That's why he's always tied to music to get you to sing sin.
Yeah.
That's right.
Every song, if a favorite song is your misery, that shouldn't be your favorite song. If your song is get going, all your stuff in a box, well, you're telling us you had a hobo Hebrew, because if all his stuff fits in a box, that's a problem right off the top, ain't it?
So
he ain't been established, have he?
Never.
What's in that box? I can have another one of you by tomorrow. That means,
if he only got that box, I'm sure.
but this means by tomorrow, if you married, you ain't got no divorce, but you can have another one in here tomorrow. So all he is just, all I need you for is just here filling space. But when I get tired of you, get going. If that's your favorite song, that's a problem with relationships for you here on out.
Right.
If you singing if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem.
Wrong to who? Her husband or God? Well, you don't want to be right about that. You feel you should just be able to invade that space. Look here, this the man that don't want to be wrong. Is your wife in there? I don't want to be wrong, so I'm coming to tell you up front. Pow! I didn't mean it like that. You misunderstood me. No, I didn't.
No, you misunderstand it.
You was wrong and I was right.
But if you sing the songs, because love songs are in the songs of Solomon, they're love songs. It tells you how to sing love songs to the Most High, and it's got to be about righteousness, not about failed behavior as being your favorite track, unless that track reminds you of your bad behavior. But it can't be that's my jam.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
Boy, look here. And you on the dance floor publicly showing people how that's your favorite jam. And somebody, how do I get a room?
Oh, no.
Songs will do that. That's what music does.
Yes, sir.
It alters the thought process. So what are you really listening to? What's going into your heart?
Soothes the savage beast.
What did it do, Elijah?
Soothes the savage beast.
That's why David had to play that harp when Saul would just go crazy and just throw a javelin at him. I can't stand you, young pretty nigga. All the virgins hollering, he's got his 10,000 hollering, and I got my 1,000. So what? I was hired from Goliath. I'm still was the king. Hell y'all me. Let's get some more, y'all. Where we at, Elijah? You finished 37? 34? Go ahead, Elijah. 34. We ain't gonna slow down no more, y'all. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah.
And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying.
So it won't be no more evangelists. Go ahead.
Know the Lord. Well, they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
That's what we want, y'all. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Most High of hosts is his name.
So his name is the one who gives the ordinance their instructions. That's his name. So you ain't got to know his name. You can just say, the God who made that, and tell it to come up every morning the same time and don't fail me. And the light to come out at night and them other lights that's around it. He said, y'all got to come up every night and don't fail me. How they fail?
Nope.
After a tornado, a tear a town up, what shows up the next morning? Sunshine, so you can see the damage. Get your minds right. Y'all see what you got? And it always hit at night, 3 in the morning while you yawning. That gets your attention quicker than anything. And that's when the final plague hit Egypt, around midnight. And the book of Jasher get deeper. It says for all the families that their firstborn had already died, it say dogs dug up their grave and drug the bones to their front door.
Yeah.
And throw them on the front. They firstborn. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 30.
Still 34.
30.
No, 35. I was on that.
35.
He on 36.
Yeah,
Oh, you did. My bad.
Yeah, you slowing us down, Zaya. Okay. Go ahead.
36.
Yeah.
If those ordinances depart from before me, says the Most High, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
So if they claim the moon, there's no such people called Israel, even them fake ones over there.
Right.
See, because he said, if you can come put your flag on my property and say this belongs to me, ain't no need in Israel worried about nothing. You've conquered the heavens in this realm. You control my moon. Hold on, let me get this straight. Y'all can't go to Antarctica on Earth that gets 60 below zero. Now up here on my moon, when the sun is on the opposite side, the dark side of the moon, it's 378 degrees below zero.
Yes.
And on the sunny side, it's 500 degrees above Fahrenheit. No, let me say this. 1,500 degrees above Fahrenheit. Yeah. Film melts at 500.
Right. I was going to say, it's a lot higher.
So how are you taking pictures with what at 1,500 degrees? Those are y'all writings.
They going next year.
And it's 300 degrees below zero. You can only go into Antarctica at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and you got to get out of there because all motor oil will freeze on you. And that's only 60 below at max. And y'all in a machine going to a place that has 328 degrees below zero?
Man, you can't even get beyond the radiation.
I said, that's what we're talking about. He said, y'all get that, go and make a deal, because they have to wait till a portal opens so they can go and come back in. And they just going up 200 miles. That's all the highs they going.
Right.
So what are they going to refuel it?
When they take the thing, how the cameraman get there first?
Look. Right, look.
Hey, right, where's that wind? If it's that wind blowing that flag from?
they set the appointment up. That's
But
what
look, they can do us like
Now they
that.
took a fan.
Look, they can do us like they used to do Starsky and Hutch. You know how? See, that's what they doing to us. They doing the pulling the Starsky and Hutch. You know how when they finna go catch somebody commit a crime, they jump through the windows of the car and they peel off from the courthouse. And the next time you see them, they slamming on brakes into the crime scene. So you missed all of the drive in between the two.
Yeah, the stoplights
We see them
and
take
all
off
that.
at NASA. The next thing, the Eagle has landed. Show us the whole route.
Right.
That's all we asking, ain't we, Lysa?
Yeah.
How you gonna pull a Starsky and Hutch on us?
And if you at the moon, where all this bright sunshine coming through on your
Boy, look
you
here.
got sunlight shining, beaming right through your spaceship, but you at the moon.
Right. And you ain't been back since 68, and you're saying it'll take another 20 years to get prepared. What are you talking about? This had more technology in it right now than what they sent to the moon, they claim. Obadiah say, though you set your nest among the stars, satellites among the stars, and they have the space station. It's a nest that China, Russia, and America docks to. Right. It's called the space station, and that's what those three dock. They dock like an eagle going back to a nest. He said, I'm going to throw all that down.
Yep.
He said, you set your nest among the stars. Not on the moon, not on my ordinance. It's among the stars. Every satellite, how you know, stars twinkle bright when you look up.
You can see the
a satellite is, yellow, more,
blue.
Like that light on the fan is more, have a yellow look. Stars twinkle bluish white.
Yeah.
Satellites always have that yellow.
Look like a headlight.
Look like a headlight that needs, that fix on it. You know what I'm saying? That stuff you rub on to make them clear again. But that's what they look like. And if you watch them right there, satellites move. If you look at that same spot, 1 hour, it's going to be to move 40 or 50 degrees. You're going to say, okay, that's stars. I mean, that's where they set their nest among the stars. They got satellites up there trying to see planet Earth like God. He said, I'm going to throw all that down. When you lose your Wi-Fi, you're going to know what the business is.
They say they're going to do a flyby next year.
Let's get caught up, y'all. Real quick, y'all. Where we at?
37.
Yeah.
Thus saith the Most High. If heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Most High. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that the city shall be built to the Most High from the tower of Hananel unto the gate of the corner.
You can hold that line to that last verse. You finish that one up. Y'all read the rest of that.
And the measuring line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill Gareb, and shall compass about to Goliath.
That's good. Hold that. So real quick, y'all, and what we're talking about is right there, the new covenant. And he's going to make with us. He has to make a new covenant with us, y'all. There has to be a new set of laws. There's man-made covenants out there. We got to get the official word from the Most High, and we won't need a piece of paper. It'll be like how we're supposed to practice at feast days. We're not to be going law to law with one another for what? We know the law. We know how to treat each other. It's hospitality. We got family in from KC. How we gonna treat them? We gotta learn how to do that now. Damn, here they is. What they want? No, see, you can't. I'm just messing with you. But you know what I'm saying? We got to greet them like that. We're the family. They in town. They in town. We happy to see. But that's good hospitality that where we make sure before we send them back on their journey, we can't send them back empty. How we gonna send you back on the highway hungry? Low on gas, you know what I'm saying? Right. And we're talking about spiritually. They didn't come all this way to get shortchanged. Right. So you got to understand that when we have our feast days, ain't no need in walking around and having private Bibles. We can't have that on feast days because we should know it's our gathering. You don't do that going to a family reunion or nothing. No. If you do, that means everybody is allowing wickedness to have his portion. Now look, y'all, Uncle Junior coming out, 3 or 4 people voted, they want him here. Even though he pissed on himself last time and turned over the sweet potatoes. Yeah, they saying they gonna move the table. So you got to move the table.
So that mean they pissed when some places it shouldn't have went.
No, look here, look here. See,
Gotta move the table.
No, they just don't want them clowning and
right.
There you go.
Okay, I'm glad
All right.
that did happen. Zay.
All right.
Look here.
Need something.
Yeah, because unless he had a dress on, you know, that's what they meant. But look, y'all, that's what we're talking about. Hospitality is the first key to breaking the bread and keeping this cup. You know, that's what you want. And that's what the kingdom of heaven would be like. It ain't no point for nobody challenging nobody. It ain't no, look, everybody you see, you will be ecstatic to see them. But these men today make the kingdom like if you see somebody coming, you're like, man, look, hey, look at this nigga coming. In the kingdom, you won't be able to do that. It's going to be straight love. It's going to be all fruits of the Spirit. Everything you work for, there will be no iniquity found.
Right.
So that means we ain't got to worry about, you know the Lord. Everybody that makes the kingdom knows what's supposed to happen.
Right.
They're back to Adam before he sinned. What you got, bro?
I gotta get hospitality to the vines.
Yes, you do. That's what I mean. You're gonna have to share your chicken.
You're gonna
have to share your chicken. Let's get some more, y'all. Let's get caught up, y'all. Ezekiel 36, y'all. We got a few more scripts and we're gonna close out. But we want to get to the final on the name and what his name is. So far, y'all, all we've been told is his name is the law. I ain't seen his name yet concerning vain. Solomon knew his name, didn't he? Or pronunciation. See, from the English, it said, no, you don't know Hebrew. You know a few words. Kwam Rasharala. What I just say? Yeah. Y'all heard that? I know some Hebrew. But see,
I'm glad you did that.
but look, I was just watching that. I was just watching the Passover video. John Boy was saying that at the end. Kwam Yasharala. You know, that hook was there. You know, till I found up, rise up Israel.
Right.
But look, how did I just have to explain what it means in what language?
English.
Y'all, this ain't hard. It's common sense. If Hebrew was the only language, there would be no reason to speak in tongues.
Right.
I mean, what you gonna do? Go to somebody and speak in tongues, and you gonna talk to them in Hebrew and then explain it in English? Do that make any sense? Y'all, it's crazy talk. Let's get some more, y'all. Keeping of the commandments don't matter what language you put it in. Stealing is stealing all over the planet.
Yes.
If you see somebody running and they holler, Bukiba, and he running with a woman purse, I don't care what country you in. Bukiba, Hebo-ba, Quick Finger Louie, it all means the same thing. Stealing. And they have a punishment for it, don't they?
Yes.
You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can change the name. But the action speaks law. And that's what you're punished for, the actions. Let's get some more.
Family, we're going to be reading in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36. We're going to start the reading in verse 16. Everybody there?
Y'all read 1 through 16. And the reason we want you to read 1 through 16, it talks about, the marriage of Israel. You talk about how he did it in the fire of his jealousy, y'all. We did bad to the Most High, turned our back on him, but we're going to pick this up at verse 16. And he's going to tell us why he had to fix her. And this is what I want y'all to say, like you could have. We had our own land. We had our own priests. We had our own law. We had everything. Did saying the wrong name, saying Yahweh, and some say it's Baal, was that what got us kicked out of the land? Or was it behavior that throwed us out? And we're going to see how we profaned his name. That's what we keep looking for. Name tied to bad behavior. Profane my name, there's bad behavior. It wasn't a speech impediment problem. Because all of us would be in trouble, wouldn't we? We couldn't call on Ariel, come up here and tell him what I'm saying. No, Moses tried that. And he said, I'm going to always have somebody there. I ain't going to never be caught short. What you think, my hand is too short to deliver Israel? How do you even get that thought in your mind that he can't deliver? Let's read some more.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 36 and verse 16.
What it say?
Moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying,
Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman.
Y'all understand that? Can he put it in more simpler terms? This the way how we acted out at home.
You work.
Like the removements of a woman, y'all know. During that time, that's where they would be removed. That's how our behavior was. You have to get out of a clean space, so to speak. Go ahead, what else to say?
Verse 18.
Yeah.
Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it.
Not only this, worshiping Molech in the land. That's what Solomon did. Molech required babies to go on the altar. Can you believe Solomon let his many wives coax him in that, but they said he got old. Solomon had the smell of mandrake all throughout the temple. Mandrake is an aphrodisiac when you look it up. With 1,000 women, you need aphrodisiac. Boy, you need something. And Solomon just couldn't keep up, so he just started letting them do what they wanted to do to satisfy them. And he built high place for Chemosh in the kingdom. Let's get some more.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the country. According to their way and according to their doings, I judged them.
So if you in America, if you in the belly of the beast, if you in the belly, our fathers were of the tribes of Judah. Because treacherous Judah saw the 10 tribes and what they do, Elisha?
Trip.
Even worse.
Worse than all.
That what you call treacherous Judah. So, treacherous Judah, I judge you by your behavior. Since y'all want to clown more than the clowner, I'm going to send y'all to a worse people. I'm going to send y'all to them. Go ahead, Elisha.
We were the example, we were the head tribe.
Yeah.
So we had to be the ultimate example of the ultimate punishment. Just like Christ was the ultimate sacrifice coming out of the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Judah had to be the ultimate example of the ultimate punishment.
Yes, sir. This ain't hard, y'all. This is why you can't lump us all in one area. We're put in areas because of our transgressions. Like Adam, Eve, and Satan all went in on the same crime, but each one of them got different punishments for their participation in that same crime. They were not all punished the same. Every one of them received the punishment for that same crime, for their involvement with that same crime. Let's get some more, bro.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went.
Now we bring this bad behavior where?
Unto the heathen, whither they went.
They
profaned my holy name, when they said to them, these are the people of the Most High, and are gone forth out of his land.
See, the people looked at us, you got to be kidding me, not this the people of the Lord. These dice throwers. These rim wearers of cars. These gator shoe wearing. Come to a swim party but won't get their hair wet. Right. These the people of God. Let's get some more, y'all. Go ahead.
Hey,
what you say? Like?
Cool.
Who has something? What you got, Eliezer? Go ahead.
Listen here. Does it mean when it says that Judah is being scattered, is it talking about after the two portions? There was like Israel, the kingdom of Israel, and the kingdom of Judah. Wasn't Judah mixed with Benjamin and had some Leviticals in there because of the priesthood? So didn't all three of those be scattered?
Well, all of the full scattering, that's what was left in Israel before Judah tripped and became treacherous. Then he cast the whole house out. Right. But what was left was Benjamin and Levi still controlling. Now Judah was cast out to the four corners. So Judah is in every corner, but they're going to be in the furnace part, wherever they are. You'll see a 10 tribe over here. They may not be getting drama as much, but you can see they're feeling the sting too.
Yeah.
They just don't have the foot on the neck. Ain't no problem where you see on the news constantly the foot on the neck.
Like,
you know, that knee on the neck.
Right.
Go ahead, like.
Just like you'll see the blacks in Brazil being treated bad and killed by the police, but not on the same scale as here in the United States.
Yeah.
You'll see Israel and other countries being, persecuted and treated badly, but nothing like Israel.
Yeah.
We get the blunt of it all.
Yeah, we do. As an example to everywhere else, because everywhere else talks about slavery. But look, it's linked to other countries. It's just America exceeded the affliction. Even the other nations say, well, we didn't do them like that.
Right.
Y'all really put y'all foot on their neck. Look, we were slaves in Germany. If you look this up, and this is what they won't tell you about the Holocaust, we can't be anti-Semitic. Look up the Rhineland bastards, Rhineland bastard. They were Israelite children that their fathers who was in the army had relations with white German women, and those are the offspring. Hitler said, kill all them people. The Rhineland bastards, over 28,000 of them ain't never mentioned in the Holocaust, but you can Google it right now and see who you see.
What is it again?
The Rhineland bastards. Rhineland. Rhineland bastards. And they call them bastards because their father is Hebrew and their mama German. Bastards, Hitler called them. And they were in the concentration camp. But no mention, how you going to be anti-Semitic? This is why you have to make sure, let no man judge you. How you going to call me anti-Semitic? My daddy was a Rhineland bastard. What they going to say after that? Your daddy was a Rhineland bastard. And watch him just look at you, okay.
But if the father was German, they hit him off.
Yeah.
Because it was some blacks over there in Germany during that time who had German dad. They didn't get done like the Rhineland bastards. They hid them off.
It won't even come up.
They sent them away.
It won't come up on Wikipedia, Rhineland bastards. So now, where that?
They sent them away, but because there are some that are
do Holocaust Rhineland bastards.
They didn't really endure no racism and everything.
Well, they did them like they did the house slaves.
Right, like
they still in slavery.
They still in slavery, but they didn't get.
They didn't get out to the shack.
Right.
Y'all see that? But they'll see it online, y'all. We just got to get caught up before the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to close out. So y'all want to hurry get through these scripts. Where we at? 36 and what?
21.
Go ahead, bro.
But I had pity for mine holy name.
Who had the pity for what?
His holy name.
See, the Most High had to pity his own name because of that, because Israel is named. I have to have pity. Y'all my name and y'all disrespecting me. Y'all gonna ruin y'all father's good name. What does that mean? Does that mean he pronouncing it wrong? Or is it your father a roofer? Here you come trying to put a roof on at 12 noon in the heat of the day.
Right.
That ain't gonna work. You gonna slide all the shingles off. They gonna melt with your weight up there, standing on them that early. You leaving nails around there.
He just putting tarps up there.
Just putting tarps up there.
He ain't putting shingles up there no more.
You done ruined your father's good name, and that's what we did. We're the light of Israel, and we're clowning more than the heathen. Go ahead, what else to say?
But I had pity for mine holy name.
Yeah.
It looked like my cousin.
Which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Most High Yah, I do not this for your name's sake, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake.
But for his holy name's sake. Go ahead.
Which ye have profaned among the heathen whither ye went. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Most High, saith the Most High Yah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen, and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you.
What's going to happen after we get back to the land?
He will sprinkle clean water upon us.
Yeah.
And ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes. And ye shall keep my judgments and do them.
You can hold out to verse 28. Go ahead.
And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye will be my people, and I will be your Elohim.
So we see all this can only take place when a new covenant is made. Once we're washed clean and we're proven that we belong there, then he washes us clean and we get married. See, when you read Ezekiel 16, it tells you about the marriage ceremony. 1 through 15, he said, I took you and I washed you and I cleaned. Then I spread my covering over you. Y'all understand? So he tells us this is the process of marriage. We court, we go through, we make sure everything is together. He said, then I dress you up. I put you in the best shoes. I put you in the best jewels. You didn't have no want for anything. It said, but you played the harlot.
Still trip.
And not only that, they didn't give you nothing. They didn't give you no shoes. Just throwed you on your back.
Right.
Hey, hit verse 32 and 33.
Go ahead,
so
we'll finish it out. Go ahead.
31 and 32.
31 through 32?
Yeah, just 31 and 32.
Go ahead.
Just 31, 32?
Yes, sir.
Then shall ye remember your own evil ways.
What shall we remember?
Your own evil ways. And your doings that were not good. And shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and your abominations.
See, so it had nothing to do with language.
Right. So when you say you loathe in yourself, that means you're looking back. You're like, damn, how could I do that? Boy, you was no good. You ought to be dead. See, some of us who understand the law now already loathe in ourselves.
Right.
We know what the Most High has done for us and we ought to be dead.
That's right.
You be like, boy, I was low down. Especially when you understand the scripture. Now you like, I did that.
Right.
Damn, I'm supposed to be dead.
I'm guilty of all that. And that's why, on that one class we did, I wanted everybody to, we lean towards understanding those big crimes.
Yeah.
Those felonies.
Right.
But we overlook those misdemeanors that we stack up continuously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could prevent us as well.
Yeah.
You want that 32?
But yeah, and 32 because I just wanted to hit these because it shows that it had absolutely nothing to do with pronunciation of his name.
No, it didn't.
But he's talking about our actions that caused us to be kicked out and things of that nature. Read on, bro.
Verse 32. Not for your sakes do I this, saith the Most High Yah. Be it known unto you. Be ashamed.
Be what?
Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel.
Yes, sir. Y'all read the rest of that. He gonna say how he gonna cleanse us up, y'all, but we have to loathe in ourselves. If you won't accept your wrongdoing, then you won't accept being wrong. You just sorry you got caught.
Right.
Let's pick it up. Y'all read that to the end. Now, y'all, what we want to do is show you the Father the fix and what he says he's going to do once we get our minds back right. He's going to rewrite the laws in our hearts, so we have to practice for that. Yes. Shalom, sister. Y'all gone?
Yes.
Shalom.
See y'all a little later. Okay, shalom.
Good to see you.
Yes, good to see y'all too.
All right.
Y'all enjoy the concert. hey,
Yeah.
film them out of breath.
Look. So Daniel 7 and 9.
We're reading in the book of Daniel, chapter 7. I'm going to start the reading in verse 9.
So we're going to what his name is because we just went to the fix. Now we got to see what's the process for the fix and who we got to go through to get our hookup, so to speak. We got to have a hookup for the fix because the Father ain't getting off the throne coming down here pleading with us. We have an intercessor. We have the fixer that's sent. Daniel 7 and 9 through 14. Then we hit Revelation 19. We'll hit these quick. Matthew 12. And then we'll close out with Zephaniah 3. And we may have a little homework.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Uh-huh.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
Who did sit?
The Ancient of Days did sit.
So I want y'all to understand this. Genesis 1 and 1, 1 and 2 starts off day 1. It says he's ancient to that. So I want y'all to think about how far this goes back. Day 1. And he's ancient to the beginning of the creation. He's ancient to that. He's the Ancient of Days. Way beyond how you consider time. Go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow.
That's right.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Uh-oh.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Uh-huh.
A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
Uh-huh.
The judgment was set, and the books were open.
What was open?
The books were open.
Uh-huh.
I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake.
Uh-huh.
I believe even
what?
I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame.
So y'all, where are we at in prophecy on this right here? The beast slain and his body given to the flame. So we right here of the Antichrist being thrown in. Go ahead.
As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man come from the clouds of heaven, and came
what? Go ahead.
And came to the Ancient of Days.
Who he come to?
To the Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
So we know that's given to the Messiah because someone's giving it to him. And this is after the Antichrist. So it ain't talking about David. David dead. Ain't talking about nobody else. And this is the one where non-messianic say, I'm having a problem with that Daniel right there. Why are you having a problem? Talking about it's hard to get around it. What are you trying to get around? That it's the Messiah?
Right.
Being brought to the Ancient of Days, you struggling with that. Well, you going to struggle with Psalm 110. Well, I don't read past the 79th Psalm. That's your problem. Do you know we actually heard that? Well, player, for real, me, I don't go past the 79th Psalm. What they got to do with the rest of them?
Right.
What they got to do with 80 through 147?
Right.
What they got to do with that with us? Because you choose not to go farther than that. Revelation 19, 13 through 16. And y'all, what we're talking about is who has the power to deliver the fix of our problems. It had to be somebody that's broken free. Judah got worse than the other 10 tribes, so it can't be nobody out of Judah, but who's prophesied out of Judah from the beginning. Christ was already set up a plan B before Adam was thought about.
Yes, sir.
Said, let us make man. Revelation 19, 13 through 16. And this is the power given over to Messiah, the high priest. Now they'll accept Aaron ordering death, but they saying the Messiah can't. He's a hippie on a stick, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to see real judgment. Because you're going to see Aaron and Moses hit their kneecaps.
Verse 20 is what we just read in Daniel.
Yes, sir. Revelation 19, 13 through 16.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 13.
What it say?
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of Yahweh.
What is his name called?
The Word of Yahweh.
John 1 and 1.
And the armies which were in the heavens followed him upon the white horses, clothed in fine linen.
What they clothed
in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty power.
Right.
And he hath on his vesture.
What he got on his vesture?
And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
So that's the Messiah that coming back, and he bringing an army back with him. And it say they're the saints there in white. So the 144,000 riding on them horses too that was redeemed from earth. See, that's why the rapture don't make sense. You gonna leave and then come back? I thought you going there with Big Mama. Big Mama coming back too with a sword in her hand.
I'm going to beyond.
And riding on a horse, Big Mama. See, y'all, some things we just got to say. Now let's get Matthew 7:22-24. This power is given to the fixer, the word of the Most High. Never broke a law. Sin was not found on him, in him, and there was no guile in his mouth. That's the example. That's the name of God. If you want to know what his name is, it's called his son. Given his power. He has authority like you give to your attorney. He has power of attorney from the Father in his name. And since he didn't break no laws, that's the rule, ain't it?
Right.
Let's get some more. And he didn't ever say what his father's name was.
No, I ain't heard.
His father ain't never said what we should call him, did he? Let's read some more.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 22.
Many
will say to me in that day.
What they gonna say?
Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils.
Right.
And in thy name done many wondrous works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
What'd he say?
I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
So he say, in my name, y'all saying I cast out demons. That wasn't his name. You were doing that on the dark side. Right. You pronounced his name in Hebrew, but your actions were of the dark side. Right. You wouldn't call on his name. That's like calling on the devil and on a playground naked with children out there. It's like people that say the Lord told me to do that, and they kill their own children. They look like a demon to me. Right. No. That's not going to happen in that perspective, y'all. We're going to have to clearly get our minds straight on who's going to be the judge.
Yes.
Now, he can't be the judge born and Joseph is his father. He can't be that one sitting on there. That's why I'm saying they gonna say we prophesied her name. He said, no, you talked about my mama. Well, what you said she did and how I was born. I don't know you. I don't have no clue who you are. You're looking for a blemished lamb. That's who you're looking for. I don't have no stains on me. I don't know you.
Right.
What stain you looking for?
He's only identified by one doctrine.
One doctrine, Elijah.
Only one.
You finished that?
Verse 24.
Yeah.
Therefore, whosoever hears these sayings of mine and doeth them.
And do what?
And doeth
See,
them.
you got to hear, and what else you got to do?
Doeth.
You got to
them.
hear and do. You just can't hear it. There's a performance. Faith without works is what?
Dead.
Let's get some more.
I will like him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
See, when you do it, the law, he said, I'm going to liken you to a wise man that built his house on a rock.
And that rock was the cornerstone, Peter's belief in Christ.
That's right. Real quick, y'all, just a couple individuals who understood who the fixer was and who operated the same way, that says his law is the light. His word is law. Christ came as the law, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And he's also called the word of God, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
So let's get to Psalm 138, 1 and 2. for all those holy name rollers that keep saying you have to say his name this way. Ahaya. Ahaya. That's just one of his titles.
Go to the alphabet.
Yeah, look. Psalm 119, the longest chapter in the Bible is the alphabet. 8 verses lies in. Every one of them 8 verses are governed by law, ain't it?
Yes. Sir.
Every letter is governed by law. How you get tricked into believing word after mouth? Go ahead, bro. Psalm 138, 1 and 2.
Good on me. Yeah. Okay. All right. Psalms 138, verse 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
I will praise thee with my whole heart.
What you gonna do, Elisha?
Praise thee with my whole heart.
Not half a heart.
Whole heart.
Whole heart means you trust the Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
That's right.
You can't do no whole heart praising when you believe some area may be tampered with. Go ahead, Elisha.
Before the gods will I sing praise unto thee. I will worship toward thy holy temple. And praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name.
See, the word, which is the law, is magnified above any name you can call them on. So keeping the commandments, that's why I keep saying that, like, you ain't got to open your mouth and say nothing to me. Just do what I tell you. You don't have to say nothing.
That's right. Don't require no back talk.
He know who you are. He knew David.
Yes. He said, I knew you in your mother's womb. But he knows those who are obedient to his word.
Let's see this same David, 1 Samuel 17:45. And we're going to see again how did Goliath disrespect. Was it he called our God some foreign name? Or let's see, was it about actions? Yo, this is about actions. This ain't about no pronunciation. And you born and raised in Mississippi with a kindergarten education. You ain't got out of pre-primer, the old you said.
Pre-primer.
Yeah. That's where you just know your ABC, but you can't pawn them off. Right. You can sing the song. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, N, O, P. Won't you sing with me? Now point me to a D. I don't know what it is. I just know the song.
Boy, don't go to crying.
Boy, look here. Go ahead, bro. 1 Samuel 17:45.
Oh. I'm just sitting there looking, waiting on somebody to Then said David to the Philistine, thou camest to me with a...
Back it up to 41, like.
You want to go back? No?
41, yeah.
Okay. Verse 41.
Yeah.
You want to, like when you're talking crazy, and
Yeah, that's coming. It's coming up.
okay. 41. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him. For he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance.
So he sent 2 for Goliath. David got an armor bearer before him. See, he walked out with David. See, 2 again to face the giant. See, but we don't hear about that armor bearer. But every time you see, I don't care what war, is always 2 of them will walk out there. It's like an advisor or the one who negotiating the battle here, so to speak. But go ahead, Elisha.
And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance.
He was but a youth and ruddy and of fair countenance. Well, some will say well, ruddy mean white. The only places you'll see ruddy in the Bible,
dirty red,
is applying to Israel. The only time you see red in the Bible, it applies to Esau. So what it means is ruddy is blood coming up through flesh tone. So dark skin, you get that mahogany look. Lighter skin, you get that red bone look. But with no melanin, that's why when they get drunk, what color their nose turn?
Red.
When they get upset, what color they turn?
Red.
So They're the true red man, because every action of their countenance, it brings the blood up to the flesh and you can see it. That's why red is only attributed to Esau in the Bible, and ruddy is only to Israel. You only see ruddy in this 1 Samuel, and you'll see it about Solomon and or the Nazarites were ruddy in body, Lamentations 4, but it's only going to be attributed, though the words are close together, they're only separated by one nation having melanin in their skin and the other one don't. That's what identifies the difference between red and ruddy. But when you look them up, it'll say red tone naturally, because we're talking about blood.
Right.
But we're talking about blood, how it shines through the apparel that you have on.
Through the apparel of the melanin or the lack thereof.
When we get to Isaiah 52, you're going to understand it perfectly, because it talks about who has this come from Edom. Dyed, their apparel is dyed in red, talking about their flesh. And he's going to tell you what he got for Israel as we keep reading that, who the promise went to, the ruddy. Where we at?
Esau should really be the colored man.
Yeah, he should be the colored man.
He can change all.
He can change up when he get hit in the eye. What color that
Black,
time?
purple, black,
Yeah.
purple.
Yeah, do turn green sometimes.
He get the color.
You like, boy,
Depending on how much pressure you
look
apply.
here, he hit him and put, you got hit with a right hand when it put jaundice on you. And you turn green. Boy, you got hit with a haymaker, didn't you?
Sickle cell.
Man, boy. Let's finish that up. Where you at? You finished that?
Blood anemia.
Go ahead, Elisha. 43, yeah.
And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog that thou camest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his God.
He cursed him by his gods. Dagon. You lousy, you serve the God of sun. Dagon will take your head and your God, and all them Israelites hide behind bushes too. Y'all ain't nothing. You want this land, you're going to have to go through me. It says he was a champion of Gath. You don't call nobody no champion and they owe for something, do you, Elijah?
No.
A champion got victories, don't they?
All victories.
Let's read some more.
And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I came to thee in the name of the Most High, thy Elohim.
What did he come in?
In the name of the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied.
He said, that's who I'm coming in. So let's make it clear. We're going to see how war turn out. See, that's what you have to do. You have to tell the devil who you represent. And you have to be bold as a lion. You can't be scared. Now look here. You know it's a problem already. You just said I was a foot shorter than a midget. And you got a shield and a sword. Goliath already scared.
Yep. And he ain't got nothing.
He already scared. You still got your weapons of war like you finna fight an army. You just said there's a young boy.
Yeah.
You scared of a young boy. Yeah, we'll see why he's scared. Go ahead, Elisha.
A young pretty boy.
Yeah.
46. This day will the Most High deliver thee into mine hand. And I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. And I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a Elohim, a power in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that the Most High saveth not with sword and spear.
What he saved not with?
Sword and spear.
So y'all, this ain't physical war. That's right. We talk about that slingshot, but that was spiritual, y'all. Go ahead.
For the battle is the Most High.
Who's the battle?
The Most High. And he will give you into our hands. And it came to pass when the Philistines arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hastened and ran toward the army to meet the Philistines.
Which way did David run?
Ran towards them.
See, they already shook at this point. Go ahead.
And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth.
That didn't kill him. That just knocked his equilibrium off. Yeah. And he was so dizzy he had crashed face first. Yeah. They say the stone sunk in his head. But David learned that from the Benjamites.
Right.
Because they hung around the Judites how to throw the sling. The Benjamites used to lead the point. The Benjamites were like, you know, when you see armies, the first wave to come through, they come through, and what they do, they take the first force with them things. They're like snipers.
Yeah. They take off your first line of defense.
They were our snipers, and they say they could split a hair. They could hit you with that stone and split a blade of your hair. So they were accurate.
That's how accurate. And they could do this on riding on horses.
On horses. Whoo! Whoo! And they were like snipers. They were knocking your men off. You riding on a horse, they knocking them off. So once your top men get knocked off, then here come the army wave. So that's how David came in. The first thing, he sniped they biggest man down. Straight to the forehead. Right here, it say the stone sunk in there. So it was still in there, Elisha.
Yeah.
When they rolled him over, it was still sitting there, sticking out like that. Go ahead, where we at? 50.
So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
Y'all keep seeing the power of the Most High. It keeps telling you it was no sword in his hand. So how did Goliath's head get cut off? Let's read some more.
Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof and slew him and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead.
Who was dead?
Their champion.
Their champion was dead. Go ahead.
They fled.
What they do?
Fled.
Took off. Go ahead. Kneecaps. All of them got bruised chest plates. Kneecaps was so high running. When you see your champion get took, boy, look here. All this was tender and sore from kneecaps hitting. High step running. Go ahead. What else to say, boy?
That's a high step.
Yeah.
And the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until they come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Shararim, even unto Gath and unto Ekron. And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines.
Where they return from? Look, y'all, and we know if you chase somebody home, boy, you come back. Did y'all get him? No, them niggas was running so fast. We chased him on away from her. Chased their ass away from her. Go ahead, boy. When you come back off the chase, boy, you victorious, ain't it? Yeah. Go ahead.
It says the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents.
What they do?
Spoiled their tents. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem. But he put his armor in his tent. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistines, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And Abner said, as thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell. And the king said, inquire thou whose son the stripling is.
The stripling is this youngster.
Right.
Man, who this youngster is? A strapping young buck. Who is this youngster? Go ahead.
And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul, the head of the Philistines
with the
head of the Philistines in his hand.
David still got in his hand, just carrying it around like a trophy. And I'm talking about his head was big as a 25-inch old console TV.
Yeah.
A 25-inch.
Yeah, because this is a giant.
See, David had to stand on top of him to cut his head off. Yeah. Goliath was 9 cubits and a span. A cubic 18 inches times 9, and then a span is half of that, 9'6", almost 10 foot tall. Go ahead, what else to say?
And Saul said to him, whose son art thou, thou young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite.
Notice what he said, I am the son of your servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. No disrespect to the king off the top.
Right.
So y'all read the rest of y'all see what happened, but y'all keep hearing it kept saying with no sword in his hand. This is what it wants to tell you. When the Most High with you, who can defeat you?
Right. No weapon formed
No
against you shall
weapon.
prosper.
Look, he didn't even get to pull the sword out. David was on him so quick. This is what I want y'all to understand. David pulled his sword out of his sheath and cut his head off. He did all that tough talk. And yeah, you and the armies of Israel, you dog, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. All that fat mouth. And while he was right there, next thing you look up, uh-oh, is he running towards me? Pow! That was it. But look, passed his shield, clubbed him in the head, right in the forehead, right between there, and stuck in there.
But that's that sniper's.
That's that sniper, boy. Look, in the Daily Mail, a perfect example of that. A Ukrainian sniper sniped a Russian soldier, but it hit off the top of his helmet. They actually showed it. Pew! Shot off the top of his head and he hit the ground. He said, I must be still alive. The other one said, yeah, you is. And they all of them ducked down like that. But you can see an actual sniper hit the top of that helmet and shoot off the top. You talking about God being on your side. Snipers are the very important ones, y'all.
And they probably don't. He ain't in the war no more. He done went on.
Boy, look here. Look. For one, look, you know, if they don't get him out of that cold, what's in his drawers behind that gonna freeze up. He ain't gonna be no good no way. Come on, y'all, let's finish this up. It's almost 4. It's 4 o'clock, y'all. Want to just get these last 2. We'll close it out. Just Romans 2 and 9, a little bit of that. We're gonna hit Zephaniah. We close out. We get homework on Isaiah 52 off. I just want to read a little bit to Romans 2 and 9 so we understand that it is not about pronunciation. Did David have to pronounce the Lord's name, or did he show the Lord's power?
Showed his power.
See, y'all, and that's what happened. We show the power of the Most High. Moses and them didn't go up there and just steal Pharaoh in the jaw. They showed the Lord's power. Threw their staff down. The magicians say, we can do it. Right. They threw theirs down and it ate theirs up and they jumped back. Uh-oh. We're going to be fired after this. No, y'all going to be dead.
Right. But remember, he asked, who is this God you speak of?
Yeah. I don't see him in my right.
Well, I'm going to show you who he is.
Yeah.
So from that point on, they were showing his power.
Yeah, they were.
They weren't mentioning his name.
Right.
They were showing how he gets down. And the Most High kept telling them, go back to him and show him, I'm finna put down another demo.
Yeah. Another demo. But it wasn't nothing about telling my name. Pharaoh said, I don't know who you talking about. I don't see him among the gods of the Egyptians.
Right.
I don't see him among dog head or woman goddess. I don't see his name or none of that. I don't see him on the Sphinx writings. I don't see him in the Pyramid Gazette. Where's your God?
Pyramid Gazette.
Go ahead, y'all. Where we at? Romans 2 and 9. And we're going to close on out after this, y'all.
Romans chapter 2, verse 9.
Yeah.
Tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil.
See, where's the tribulation and anguish going to be, Elisha?
Upon every soul of man that doeth evil.
Every soul, y'all, not every flesh. Most High deals with the soul. Don't have time to deal with what's already dying. It's already dead. The flesh. Go ahead.
Of the Jew first.
Of the who first?
Jew.
Uh-huh.
And also of the Gentile. But glory, honor, and peace to every man that worketh good.
You're going to go down to verse 24, Elisha.
To the Jew first.
To the who first?
Jew first.
Uh-huh.
And also to the Gentile.
Y'all see the order? So respect a person. No, he's no respect a person. But he says, I have a people that my name called by. I have to bless them first, no matter who's with them. If they do wrong, I will get them first. I'm fair. Ain't that a fair judge, y'all?
Fair.
Go ahead.
For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law.
Uh-huh.
And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law.
So the Most High say, cause you died in your sin, you didn't know you were sinning, you're still going to be judged by your transgression. I don't want to hear nothing about you didn't know better. You knew better because the spirit of discernment is within every individual. When you know evil is around, you can feel it. And I feel wicked in here. It's cold and feel wicked. The hair on my neck stood up. What you think that means? And you know exactly what you're doing. He said, because I'm going to show you your thought process to see if you really scared or did you not know. And he going to show, I shouldn't do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. They can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to come to your house and disrespect it and put my feet on your furniture. They can't tell me what I can do. Okay? Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
You're going to get
It's
hit
gonna be some
in
movement.
your...
It's going to be some virgin movements.
You're going to get hit in your hip bone just like on the Dave Chappelle when he was playing Rick James and he was stomping on Eddie's furniture. You remember that? Yeah. With them muddy shoes on. They blackness. You going to get your legs whooped just like that.
All blackness.
Yeah.
F your couch.
Blackness.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse
13.
13. For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
Y'all understand that? You can hear about the law. You can say, and yes, his commandments are good. But if you don't do them, that's who being justified, the doers of the law. Go ahead.
For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves.
See, it's saying they're doing it naturally. We didn't even give it to them, and they're doing better than you. They didn't get the law. You were given the law. You promoted. You show heed to this scripture. For he dealt with no other nation. He said, but they do the law though. How you going to promote law breaking in you and they land?
Right.
All the Gentile will have to do is say, why y'all here?
See?
Why are y'all here? Why am I the head and y'all the tail? Riddle me that. Selah some of that. Read some more.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
Which show the work of the law written in their heart.
What is the work of the law written at?
In their heart.
See, that's the new covenant that's coming. It's got to be written in your heart. You don't have to keep no book with you. And notice what naysayers do. Soon as they see you, they start talking about work and they kill somebody. They put in work. They ready to do this. You're like, brother, this is a feast day. You know, we just here for that, man. Did you bring them with you? No, they still in the gutter. Well, man, you done spoiled my feast day. Damn, that's like bad news you done brought here.
Yes.
You didn't bring them. You didn't lift them back up. You just cut their head. So that's what you think I want to hear on the feast day. You got dead bodies. You got body counts.
Right.
Ain't nobody went to emergency. You ain't got no trauma center scriptures. Let's read some more.
I set them straight for the Most High.
Boy, look here. Set them straight for the Most High. Go ahead. And after I found out it was a feast day today, that's why I'm here. After you found out, you sent them to
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Then we need to straighten
Go ahead, bro.
Which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness.
What bears them witness?
Conscience.
See, that's the law in the heart and the mind. It says that's how I'm going to judge them without having my documents. Because they're a human being. They have the same laws. Getting off the ark, didn't they give it for all nations? Didn't Noah give it to Ham, Shem, and Japheth? Yeah. Every nation got the laws. Go ahead. Their conscience bearing witness.
And their thoughts, the meanwhile, accusing or else excusing one another.
See, the thoughts and the consciousness is what the Most High judge. See, he's going to get past what your hand did. I want to judge when told your hand, grab that don't belong to you. Go ahead.
In the day when Yahweh shall judge the secrets of men by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach according to my gospel.
Y'all see that? In the day when men are judged by Yahweh Shah, again, the high priest. Just like the high priest of Aaron made judgment. I come out, y'all, he told me, kill all of y'all. Go ahead.
Behold, thou art called a Jew. And restest in the law. And makest thy boast of Yahweh. And knowest his will. And approvest the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law. And are confident that thou thyself art a guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, which has the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law.
Of the truth in the what?
Law.
See, truth, law, commandments, it's all the same thing. It's where the light of God is in his commandments, his ordering you to be obedient. Go ahead. What else to say, Elisha?
Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself?
That's the question. Every time you go over these scriptures, when you can't keep it unless you give it away. So as you're giving it away, what you've already learned, he opened up another jewel for you. Right. By the way, while you telling him this what I got for you too. Run that to him too. You be like, wait a minute, I'm seeing two things in here. And now you find yourself explaining things. You see the light on him, and yet your light done popped on even more. You're like, damn, I get to add that to, not right. Damn, forgive me, Most High. But all praises, Most High. I get to add that to my repertoire. And y'all, we have to do self-check like that.
Yes.
You have to be careful of what you say and curse in script. Then I hit them with some MF revelation. No, you didn't. And you bragging to me. You can't do that every word. So you have to self-consciously check yourself before another have to.
That's right.
You know, so you have to be quick about it. I didn't mean that, y'all. I got into myself. I done got like Paul did. He had to give me a sword to buffet me in my side in case I get too high-minded explaining these. Don't you get out of line.
Right.
So we have to do self-check. Go ahead. What else to say, bro?
Overzealous.
Yeah, overzealous. Yeah, go ahead, Elisha. Go ahead. What else to say?
21. Thou therefore which teachest.
No, read back 21 because I stopped you on thou teachest thyself.
I'm reading again.
Thou
therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself? Thou that preachest a man should not steal, dost thou steal? Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit sacrilege?
See, you hate idols, but yet you always into something. You make up your own rules.
Right. Thou that makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law, dishonorest thou thy Elohim?
So what we need here is right now, we keep saying what got us thrown out with law breaking. And yet I have not seen yet. And thou pronounce my name wrong. As you had teachers that told you it was not Cain's highway, it's King's highway. And yet you would not adhere to it and kept saying Cain's highway. Is that what we reduced ourselves to, Lisa, that it's about language?
That's what
they reduced themselves.
Yeah, they have.
And this is constantly telling us it's disobedience.
Right.
You ain't making no sacrifice because you say, I know Hebrew and I don't speak English. Yeah, go to your job and do that if you got one. Right. See what language you going to speak in all day.
But see, that's also part of Satan's whole conspiracy is to not to teach law.
Yeah.
Keep them away from law.
Yeah, that's why scripture
Let's concentrate on earthly matters.
Yeah.
Let's talk about pronunciation, word etymology.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything that's going to keep you away from salvation.
Yeah.
Because none of these things have nothing to do with salvation. If you look at it, if you examine it more, it has more to do with self-glorying.
Yeah.
And exalting oneself over another than it does to deal with the salvation of your brethren.
Word etymology.
That's all it is.
Y'all see, and this what when it says
I do.
Where you at, Elisha? 22? 24? Go ahead, read that 24.
Yeah, for this is the good one. For the name of Yahweh is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written.
Y'all read the rest of that, or you want to go and finish that out?
So how is it blasphemy? Where is blasphemy through pronunciation versus action?
Right.
Action. So we see it's constantly action, and you have to find where a law says you fail for word etymology. You called him a name, but this is what they said about the Messiah to let you know it was never to call a physical name in vain, because they said the Messiah, he casted out demons through Beelzebub. He's a disciple of Beelzebub. And the Messiah said, so if I'm a disciple of Beelzebub and I'm teaching y'all the law and I'm casting out demons, well, I'm tearing down Beelzebub's house. Right. So actually I'm doing y'all a favor. See, that's what they didn't understand. You call me the devil, but yet I'm doing good works that the devil don't like. That's going to be a problem for the devil. Get y'all mind straight, because you know what? You the devil.
Right. Because he said Satan can't.
Like on Soul Man, when he was barking out there, you the dog. Where we at?
Yeah, we finished that.
We finished that. We can hold that, y'all, this last script, y'all. Zephaniah 3:8-9, and this is prophecy to come. And this is what we want to ask them, word etymology. Tell us this, what you found out this name is. We don't care about that other stuff. Y'all, there's titles. Jesus cannot be linked to Jupiter. There's not a piece of information on earth that said that. Jupiter is the son of Thor, or Thor is the son of Jupiter. They called Paul, they thought Paul was Jupiter. See, that lets you know what people understood. Man, we thought you was Jupiter. He like, man, Paul said, man, superstitious you talking. You believe in things you don't understand, and then you what?
Suffer.
It's a song about it, y'all. That's what superstitious is. That's Mars Hill. That's when you get in a contest and don't nobody have to really prove they God. That's superstitious. That's Mars Hill. That's where everybody just make up whatever they make up and you just shake your head. Good food for thought. Good food for thought. Standing up with your pants on and a belt. But I have to say it was almost complete, but he has on high waters. So he's going to either have to pull up his shoes or lower the water. That's a good thought, too. That's a good thought, brother. Get out of here. Let's get this Zephaniah 3:8.
Oh, my God. We're going Zephaniah 3 or 2?
3, 8, 9. Boy, crazy talk, Elijah. And they sit there with a straight face and you doing this, that move right there, that hand on the chin like you understand, but it's squirrels running in there. We could have a, what they call them scans, a CAT scan, a PET scan, I don't know what it is. Yeah, a PET scan, because that's what's running in a squirrel. And you shaking your head like this, like he done really put down some wisdom.
Oh, man.
That's deep, boy. And they keep hollering, that's deep. You in deep water. Here's the life preserver. Come out of that deep water. I'm going to pull you back in.
You up a river without a boat.
Boy, look here. Y'all go ahead and hit that and we close out.
Hey, start at 1 and go to
Go
8
ahead.
now.
You can do that, Elisha. Go ahead. Who got it?
Ariel?
No, go ahead.
All right. Zephaniah 3 and
We
1.
always quit at the end. You start giving them away.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted.
What'd he say?
Woe to her that is filthy and polluted to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice. She received not correction. She trusted not in the Most High. She drew not near to her Elohim.
Right.
Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the morrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law.
Who they do violence to?
The law.
See, once you say the pause and pen of the scribe and all that foolishness, you're doing violence to the law. Once you let that come out of your mouth, you're saying don't trust your God. That's like you done got married. They say, do you really know who you married?
Right. You don't know her.
Let's get some more.
The just Elohim is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He felleth not.
He what?
Felleth not. But the unjust knoweth no shame.
Unjust know no shame, y'all. And as we was talking about that, y'all can pull the Daily Mail up. I'm sure Jake gonna show it tonight on the Walk on the Dark Side. But they showed a homeless camp out in there. And see, homeless, because the streets are public, they're setting up homeless camps all throughout LA in front of businesses. People scared to come in. They actually had a tent and they said, lady lays on the couch in front of a business, butt naked. She just laying on the couch. It's in the Daily Mail today. And you know how they phase out her secret parts? They phased out. But she just laying on the couch, just like this, like she just watching TV, and there's 4 walls around her and a roof. She just laying right like this with her legs up in the air, gapped open. In front, on live TV, y'all, we ain't seen nothing yet. And that city is just like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes,
so
it
Book of
is.
Jasher is explaining, and it's finna get worse than that, because you can't do anything to them because sidewalk is public property. The city has to come in and remove them. But in the meantime, they got their camp set up in front of your business, and ain't nobody coming in.
Right.
Man, I was just making a delivery on the south side the other day, and I thought somebody had got set out their house. You know, because it's right in front of a nice brick home, man.
Yeah.
They talking about on that corner
But
right there.
it's a corner.
Chippewa,
Yeah, it's like over by Chippewa somewhere. And it's a dude that's got his homeless shelter set up in front of somebody's house on the corner.
Yep.
And you know, I'm at the light. I look over, I thought it was somebody that got set out. Got tarps stretched all over things and trash cans and everything.
He been
And I just
building.
happened to look over there, I see some feet moving underneath. I look, I'm like, man, there's somebody in there.
Yeah.
And I look up, and
It sounds right.
3 years.
3 years he been there, man.
he even got
He been
food.
building it up.
The dude got meat, raw meat hanging on the outside of the
Tent. Yeah.
like he drying out food, like he drying out meat.
He gonna
for,
queue later.
Like some jerky or something. Like he just skinned some kind of animal and hanging the meat out to dry.
It wasn't red, was it?
I don't know what the hell it was, man, but I'm like, what the
But look,
fuck?
y'all, it's finna be more and more and more because homelessness is increasing. They don't have nowhere to put them, and all they know is public street. The hot place, everybody moved to Florida and California because that's where all the homeless end up moving. You can stay outside all year round.
Yeah.
But here you're gonna have to get to a country. You got to find that gap under the bridge. You got to find heat vents that the heat come on until summer. Birds do what in the winter? So do the homeless, y'all. So it's gonna be a problem for them.
I seen one in the loop the other day when I was going to work. She's sitting right, I don't know if it was a he or a she, because they had a blanket, a whole white sheet over themselves.
Right there.
Sitting right there on the corner. Dale Moore and Skinker.
Delmar and Euclid, the bus stop right there. That lady been there forever. Have all her words out there. She sit there every day. Don't nobody mess with her. But what we're talking about, y'all, this gonna become commonplace.
Yes.
It is.
Let's get some more, y'all. Let's close on out. Let's finish this up. Where we at, Lisha?
Verse 6.
Verse 6.
6. Okay. I have cut off nations. Their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste, that none pass it by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, that there is none inhabitant. I said, surely thou wilt fear me. Thou wilt receive instruction.
What will we do?
Receive instruction.
He said, I showed you everything, and I thought I scared y'all enough to where y'all fear me more than the nation. I do things that they get scared of. Do you know they can't launch their nuclear warheads with the power of the Most High when a storm comes? If he knocks satellites out, they ain't got no army.
Right.
Them storms knock out all the power. They need the satellites. They need power to execute their power.
Right.
But when they be doing like this, it ain't coming up. Wait a minute. It's like a preacher that only know Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi unconnecting. Wait 1 minute, class. Unconnect. It ain't gonna connect because the powers that be done shut it down. A storm shuts down everything. All of their technology is naught. Go ahead, bro. Finish that out.
I said, surely thou wilt fear me. Thou wilt receive instruction. So their dwelling should not be cut off. Howsoever I punish them. But they rose early and corrupted all their doing.
Y'all see this? Get up early to do wickedness.
Right.
Can y'all imagine that? Wake up early. The alarm clock ain't get up. You beat it.
I'm robbing them today.
Oh boy, look here. I'm talking about your mind is ready to do evil. The devil sitting on your bed tomorrow. Hey, player, I ain't never thought of that. How you think of that?
So early.
Early.
Just come with me. I'm gonna
Show you. Yeah, go ahead. Your evil than wax worse than the devil. Go ahead.
Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Most High, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For then will I turn to the people of pure language.
What he gonna turn to us after the nations bow down?
A pure language, that they may call upon the name of the Elohim to serve him with one consent.
With one consent before the Tower of Babel, we called on them with one consent, one language. That ain't happening again to the second coming. So miss us with all that. You got to have the language and you need this and you got to say the name in that way. You ain't got to say nothing. Because each letter of the Hebrew alphabet is explained in Psalm 119, the longest chapter of the Bible. Every 8 verses is a letter, and every 8 verses is governed and ruled by law, so that you don't get caught in word etymology. You cannot be deceived unless you choose to be. The Bible is complete. Your alphabet is there, so you don't go off point. Everything is in here. Ragu ain't got everything. This got it all in it.
That's right.
It's all in here, y'all.
It's all in the South.
What they try to do is tell you that it ain't. It's in here. Because those that telling you ain't, go right back in and to be point. See, now right here in Jeremiah. Wait a minute, you just told me it's spoiled. Now you sipping spoiled milk?
Not this part.
Not this part. Oh, this the part I moved them spoiled curds and expiration date out. See, it's a little bit sip. I can sip in the last minute of expiration. See, that's the part I'm doing.
You can pick the book out.
Boy, look here. Boy, look here. Let's close out, y'all. Anybody got any questions or concerns? Too bad.
It's an excellent class.
Yes, sir. Holy commandment number 3, y'all. The Lord's word is not in vain.
No,
and
sir.
if you call him Jesus, all you doing is calling him salvation in English.
That's it.
Look up Zeus and see who he's related to. And then do any Hebrew concordance and see don't it go back to salvation. You know what they say then? Well, why don't they just call him Joshua? See, now you go to that level. How about we call him the word of the Most High?
Right.
Lawbreaker free.
Why don't you just be obedient?
Yeah. What you got up there, too bad?
I just wanted to read this Ephesians 1:19.
What it say?
And what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe, according to the working of his mighty power, which he wrought in Christ.
Yeah.
When he raised him from the dead.
Who he wrought him in?
And when he raised him, when he brought him in Christ. When he raised him from the dead.
Yeah.
And set him at his own right hand. In the heavenly places. Far above all principality.
Far above what?
All principality. And power. And might. And dominion.
Yeah.
And every name that is named. Not only in this world, but also in that which is to come.
Boy, that's the way to end this class, boy. All praises, bro. You wasn't going to let us get out of here without that, was you? That's what we talking about, y'all. That's 2 by. That's 2X, y'all. 2 by. And y'all little homework, y'all read Isaiah 52. It's going to get into like the color of Esau red. The garments has died, meaning their skin. They're going to end up what he going to do with Israel. And y'all read John 14 all. And we're going to see the love, and it's going to talk about Father and Son and how we join into that fold. And all of it's going to say, keep the commandments and live.
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission.
Yes, sir.
And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son.
Yes, sir.
Our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ.
Yes, sir.
Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 142nd chapter, it reads, I cried unto the Most High with my voice.
Yes, sir.
With my voice unto the Most High did I make my supplication. I poured out my complaint before him. I showed before him my trouble.
Yes, sir.
When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path. In the way wherein I walked, have they privily laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. I cried unto thee, O Yahweh. I said, thou art my refuge and my portion in the land of the living. Attend unto my cry, for I am brought very low.
Yes, sir.
Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise thy name. The righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me.
Hallelujah! Say God! All praises, y'all. If y'all got a shekel or two, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you, worldwide audience, for y'all continued support of the ministry, y'all. We'll keep it coming. Whatever's on your heart, mind, or soul, y'all can always drop it in that God's Warrior 298 mailbox, y'all, and we'll get at it. The Most High willing, y'all. We got to strike the iron while it's hot. We got to get the questions that's in your heart or soul that trouble you at night. If we could bring forth the answer, y'all, with the blessing of the Most High, we'll do that. As we continue to participate in our role on the chart of 1 Corinthians 12:29, the order of the assembly, third on the list, teachers. But we got to be apt, y'all. We teach ourselves every time we bring forth a lesson, y'all. That's why you can read over the same scriptures and it brings understanding from the new or different topic that you bring in. The Most High keep opening up for us, y'all. All we have to do is obey. No questions or concerns, y'all? We good?
That's it. Just stop.
Everybody good?